All right. What's going on, family? I hope you're well. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Multifamily Masterplan webinar. My name is Julian Gordon. Excited to have you here today. Let me see. Can you see me and hear me? Let me know in chat that you can see me and hear me. What's going on, Do Duwong, Destiny, Dom, Saran, Tiffany, what's good? Lundai, Larhonda, Lei, Mark, Lawrence, Shanika, Felix, Saran, Andrew, Emery, Melanie, Trevor, Sherelle, Lori, Jessica, what's good, y'all? Happy to have you here on time, ready to go. That's what I'm talking about. This is how we do it. Excited to have you here. Got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. I'm going to share my screen with you in just a second. Give me a second to pull it up. And I'm going to share my screen on Zoom. How many of y'all been Zooming like crazy lately due to COVID? I think we're all getting familiar with this technology now. Cool. I'm sharing my screen with you. And in chat, let me know that you can see my screen, and let me know by typing in what market you were looking to buy multifamily real estate in chat. What market are you looking to buy multifamily real estate in? Let me know in chat. DC, Maryland, Texas. Okay, don't give me states. Don't give me states. Give me cities or counties. Markets or cities or counties, okay? Cleveland, Ohio, Baton Rouge. Yeah, Baton Rouge, just out there earlier this week. New Orleans, Tampa. I don't even know what that was, like a Native American name. Waxahachie, Nassau County, Indianapolis, Durham, Newark, Las Vegas. Okay, we got the West Coast in the building. Dayton, Ohio, Macon, Georgia, PG County, Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx. I own property in Brooklyn. I own property in Oakland and New Orleans and Baton Rouge. See Trevor from Baton Rouge. What's going on, Trevor? Did you come out to the grand opening this Sunday? I hope you were able to make it out. We had the mayor cut the ribbon on our new office space out in Baton Rouge. Boston in the building, Northeast, Long Beach, California. Snoop Dogg. Dallas, Gary, Indiana, Montgomery, Dayton, Alamance. I don't know Tisha. I don't know where Alamance is. Orlando, Jacksonville. Cool. So we got folks from all over. Very, very good. Cool. So with that, I want to get right into it, and let's get into the multifamily master plan. The multifamily master plan is going to teach you how to finance, find, and finalize your first multifamily real estate deal and start living for free. My name is Julian Gordon. I'm creator of the multifamily movement, and I'm excited to be here with you tonight. We're going to do a little bit of a special edition of the multifamily master plan that I created for you called the coronavirus edition. Obviously, coronavirus has had a global impact, but I want to talk to you about how it's positively impacting real estate. I know that sounds counterintuitive, and I'm going to show you exactly how coronavirus is actually going to help you get into multifamily real estate, hopefully by the end of the year. All right. Now, who am I? How many of you, this is your first time interacting with me? If you've been rocking with me for, type how many years or you've been rocking with me. If it's been 0, if you just found out about me, type 0. You've been rocking with me for 2 years, type 2 years. I want to see how many people, where people coming from. Wow, we got a lot of new folks. That's perfectly fine. That is great. That is great. That is great. That is great. Beautiful. Cool. Just wanted to get a feel for where everybody found me at and how long we've been rocking together. So let's get into it. So my name is Julian Gordon. My purpose is to free 300 people like Harriet Tubman to pursue their purpose through entrepreneurship and multifamily real estate. As you know, Harriet Tubman was the #1 Underground Railroad conductor. And on the Underground Railroad, she freed about 300 people over the course of about a decade by making 19 trips for the Mason-Dixon line. All right. I believe that multifamily real estate is the above ground railroad. Okay, it is the pathway to freedom. It is real estate, and it is above ground. It is in plain sight for us to see. Now, watch this, y'all. When Harriet Tubman would stop over in the night, where would she take folks, y'all? Where would she take folks? When she would stop over in the middle of the night, where would she take folks? Dale got it. Dale said, to a safe house. So do you realize that real estate has been part of your journey to freedom since Harriet Tubman's time? Okay. I believe that the safest house in today's real estate market is a multifamily home. And this is what I'm going to show you how to use to get to your freedom tonight. All right. Now, my professional background, I've built a $4.1 million real estate portfolio with 10 multifamily homes with 30 apartments. In real estate lingo, we also call those units or doors. And together, those doors generate almost $36,000 per month in rent. And I built that portfolio in just 6 years on the side. Real estate was not my core business. 6 years ago, I was traveling across the country speaking at colleges and companies. I no longer have to do that. I'm grateful I no longer have to do that because COVID. If that was my core business, I would be out of business right now. And so this is how I secured my generational wealth and how I secured my income, even in the midst of this particular economic environment that we're in. Why? Because people always need housing. My real estate portfolio returns about 13.83% annually. The S&P 500 it only returns about 4.23% over the past 20 years. I've actually done the math for you just so you know. This is the S&P 500, a major stock market index over the past 20 years. And you can see that the average rate of return was 4.23%. How many got hit in terms of your stock market portfolio or your 401k over the past 6 months? How many got hit? Let me know in chat. I see people raising their hands. Okay. And with your stock market portfolio, you typically don't have any control over that, right? Some of you don't even know who's managing your money. You don't even know what you're invested in. You might be invested in money in companies that are actually not aligned with your values. So this is an opportunity to take back control over your economic resource, which you were a steward of, and actually to multiply it at a greater rate. So the asset class that I'm teaching you today is called multifamily real estate, and it has a 3x return to in comparison to the S&P 500 or the stock market, major stock market indexes. My properties have appreciated by almost 20%, meaning that off the value that I purchased them, if I bought one property at $300,000, a 20% increase is how much, y'all? 20% increase on 300,000 is what? 60K, okay? That means my equity and my net worth has gone up by 60K because I bought right. And you're gonna hear me say that term over and over and over tonight about how to buy right. Anybody can buy real estate, and that's what a lot of people do. But tonight we're focused on how to buy right, okay? I'm founder of the Freedom School and the multifamily movement, and I wanna be very clear that I am not a licensed real estate agent. I am not a licensed real estate agent, and you do not have to be one either in order to get into multifamily real estate and be a real estate investor. In fact, I'm going to share with you tonight how real estate agents and real estate investors think about real estate differently, even though they both operate in the same space, all right? Now, I'm going to be very transparent with you tonight about my portfolio. My portfolio is as follows. These are the actual properties that I control. So I'm not just going to say that I own or control 10 multifamily homes. These are the actual properties that I control. My first property was in Brooklyn, New York. I bought it in May of 2013. It was a 3-family home. And the moment I bought that property, and this is what I'm teaching you all tonight, the moment I bought that property, the rents from the second floor and the third floor paid the mortgage, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, CapEx, repair reserve, and vacancy rate. And I have never made a mortgage payment on any of these properties that you see before me. I'm going to repeat that. I have personally not made a mortgage payment on any of these properties because the rents from the tenants have been what paid all of those things. So I have not had a housing expense in the past 7 years, y'all. I have not had a housing expense, not even an electric bill, over the past 7 years. And my portfolio continues to expand. So tonight, I want to show you how to get that first property, okay? But ultimately, I do not want you to just have one property. I want you to, everybody take your hands and pretend like you have an eraser in your hand. And I want you to erase over here on your temple, okay? I want you to erase the temple. I want you to erase the idea of just being a homeowner. I want you to erase that idea of just having one house out of your head. Just erase it because it's time to let it go. Do we need to get that first property right? Yes. But guess what? The ultimate goal is to build an entire portfolio. So in chat, please type portfolio. Please type portfolio. We are not going after one property. We are going after a portfolio. In order to create generational wealth, we need a portfolio, not just one property. Over the course of 80 years, all of you be home buyers, okay? But if we want to create generational wealth, we have to have not just one home, we need to have a portfolio, all right? So my next property was in New Orleans and in Oakland, California. I'm from Oakland, and I currently live in New Orleans. And I want to be very clear, y'all, that I bought the properties in New Orleans and Oakland while I was living in Brooklyn. I bought the properties in New Orleans and in Oakland while I was living in Brooklyn. So I bought them from a distance, right? Your money does not have to work in the same city as you do, right? And then last year alone, in 2019, I bought 7 properties with 25 apartments. Last year alone, in 2019, I bought 7 properties with 25 apartments, okay? So today I have 30 apartments, 13.83% cash on cash return, 19.5% appreciation, $36,000 in monthly rents, and $4.1 million in value. This is all built over a 6-year period, all right? Now, a lot of people think that this can't work, right? There's a lot of doubters, and I believe that the greatest sin in the world is actually cynicism. The greatest sin in the world is actually cynicism. It's not believing. So this person hit me up on Instagram and said, bet it was not in the Bay Area. I can buy 10 properties in some cheap market for the price of one small single family home in Palo Alto, shaking my head. And I had to point out to this individual that the third property is actually in Oakland, California, right? So I'm asking you to set aside any limiting beliefs that you have for the next hour that we have together and just listen. Just listen. Take it in, okay? Don't let cynicism or doubt cut you off from hearing the truth about what's possible for you and how you can create generational wealth in your family, okay? So I've been able to do this not just for myself, I've been able to do it for others. This is the Rowe family. They have a fourplex in Los Angeles. The Campbell family, they have a duplex in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Jackie Hall, a Cooper, she has 4 doors in Philadelphia. She bought a triplex and a single family home from a distressed seller that she got for under market value. Amina owns a triplex in Brooklyn, New York. I realized it would be difficult to buy another property there, so I helped her find a fourplex here in New Orleans. Dante is from New Orleans, helped him find a duplex here, and Spencer lives in Texas, but bought a duplex in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. So I've been able to teach the same exact process to many others, and this is what I'm teaching you tonight. So tonight, I'm going to show you the multifamily math, how to quickly and quantitatively evaluate real estate deals in less than 10 minutes so that you can get your offer in before anyone else. The multifamily map, how to find great emerging markets and neighborhoods and properties near you or from a distance that have great cash flow and potential appreciation. And the multifamily mindset, how to think like a real estate investor when it comes to wealth, money, real estate, and debt. Okay. So my big promise is to give you a proven path to rent and mortgage freedom. A proven path to rent and mortgage freedom. So what is rent and mortgage freedom? I've already explained a little bit about what it was with my first property in Brooklyn. That first property got me to rent and mortgage freedom. And that's what I want your first property to do for you. Rent and mortgage freedom is the result of buying multifamily real estate, which has cash flow that eliminates your housing expense forever. For most Americans, their housing expense, whether it is rent or a mortgage, takes up about 35% of all the money that comes into their household. Okay. So imagine with one single decision to buy multifamily real estate, you immediately get to rent and mortgage freedom and never have a housing expense for the rest of your life. I've not found one other decision that you can make in your life that's going to have that great of impact on your financial future, except for who you marry and perhaps what career path you go into, okay? So in chat, let me know what would change for you if you never had a housing expense for the rest of your life. What would change for you if you never had a housing expense for the rest of your life? Let me know in chat. Jordan said, my life would change, okay? Everything. Freedom, relaxation, everything, all of it. I could leave my job, my health. We out here sacrificing our health, my investments, where I live, peace. My children's life would change. None of y'all trying to spend more time with your families. Y'all been quarantined with your families and you realize you hate the people you thought you loved, right? You like, I want to travel alone. I ain't trying to travel with them. Y'all trying to get away. No, I'm playing. I know you love the people that are with you, but it is hard to share space with people and have no breathing room whatsoever. So this is part of the nature of the game. All right. But look at this, like health, peace of mind, entrepreneurship, not only physical health, Chandra said mental health as well, freedom of time choice, build up my portfolio, pay off debt, pursue my purpose, step into entrepreneurship, peace of mind. Like this is what the power of multifamily real estate can do when it's actually bought right. And this is what I'm ultimately trying to get you to. All right. So let's talk about coronavirus real quick and its impact on the real estate market, because a lot of people have had questions about that. I already see some questions coming up in chat. And I want you to know that in this presentation, I'm going to cover a lot of your questions. Okay. So is it okay if we hold off on the questions? I encourage you to write them down on a piece of paper, right? And I take Q&A at the end. Can we hold off on questions till the end and I'll do a Q&A, I promise. Is that cool? Is that cool? I don't want you to feel, because if I try to stop and answer questions along the way, there's no way I'll be able to get through the presentation, right? Trust me that this presentation is packed full of information and it's going to answer a lot of your questions along the way. All right? All right, I appreciate that. Cool. So let's talk about coronavirus. You know, Black folks, we nickname everything. We don't even call it coronavirus. We call it Rona, right? What about that Rona though? Okay. What about that Rona though? Okay. So how is Rona or actually is already impacting the real estate market? Well, I'm going to show you exactly how and what's going to happen. So this is oops. I don't know why there's an extra S there. This is the last recession right here. This gray bar is the last recession. And in the last recession, you can see that the real estate prices, they dipped towards the end of that recession, okay? And guess what's about to happen between now and the end of the year? That same dip is going to occur. That same dip is going to occur. And this is the dip that I'm preparing you for. I want you to all to be able to buy multifamily real estate between now and the end of the year, okay? If you follow the blueprint that I lay out for you, this is more than possible. Some of you will achieve rent and mortgage freedom before the end of the year if you follow the blueprint that I teach you, okay? Now watch, the average single family home in the United States at the end of that recession dropped to $208,000. That same single family home today is worth $324,000. So if you would have bought a single family home, okay, in the midst of the last recession when everybody else was scared, you would literally be up 116 racks today. You would literally be up $116,000 today. So this is what I'm preparing you for, is to take advantage of this dip. Now, what is going to cause that dip? A lot of people who bought wrong went into forbearance, right? In June, July, August, etc. Okay. And so they're coming out of forbearance now. Forbearance is ending, and they're either going to have to make 4 months of mortgage or rent, mortgage payments, or they're going to have to sell their property at discount. And that is the sell-off that we are waiting for between now and the end of the year. And so I want you to be in position to take advantage of those drops in real estate prices as we move into a buyer's market, okay? Some people think it's a seller's market because interest rates have dropped significantly, but in fact, it's actually a buyer's market because sellers are actually in so much distress, all right? So the distress was only delayed by banks offering forbearance programs. The other thing I want to show you is that rents go up in the midst of an economic recession, okay? So look at this. This blue line represents rents, okay? And these are the last two recessions, 2000, 2001, 2008 to 2009. What do you notice happens to rents in the midst of a recession, y'all? Rents go up. Wait a second. Why would rents go up in the midst of a recession? Here's why, y'all. In every market, there are permanent renters, there are renters who are looking to buy, and then there's single family buyers, okay? And a lot of single family buyers pursuing the American dream, trying to keep up with the Joneses, what do? They buy more home than they can actually really afford. They buy extra bedrooms because grandma's gonna come over on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Grandma's literally there sleeping over 7 days out of a 365 year, and they wanted to buy all these extra bedrooms for their 3-piece or 4-piece family, right? So now one of them loses their job because of COVID, and all of a sudden, or they get furloughed, and now they can't afford that mortgage. So what do they have to do? They have to either sell their property at discount or they get foreclosed on. And when they get foreclosed on, where do they go? They end up becoming renters. And when the number of people who want to rent goes up, but the number of rental units has not increased, when demand goes up, but supply has not increased, what happens to price, y'all? When demand goes up, but supply has not increased, what happens to price? Price goes up. It's basic economics. It's basic economics. This is why rents increase in the midst of a recession, even if the unemployment rate is increasing, etc. It's because the people who lost their homes still have to find a place to live, and their only option is to rent, all right? So this is why this is one of the most recession-proof assets that you can have in your portfolio, all right? The third reason why now is the right time for you to buy multifamily real estate, in addition to prices dropping, rents increasing, is also that mortgage interest rates are at an all-time low. It has never been cheaper to borrow money, y'all. I literally have people getting locked in at 2.25 interest rates. That is like that's free money basically. If inflation is 3% and I can borrow money at 2.25%, then I'm basically getting money for free, right? So this is why we want to take, Melanie just said, I got 2.5, right? So this is the power of this particular window. This time that we're in is prices are about to drop, or if they're not already dropping in your market, rents go up in the midst of recession, and interest rates are at an all-time low. Okay, so this is the power of multifamily real estate. And if you don't move on this now, what will happen for you is that rents will continue to rise, which makes it harder for you to save because nobody's getting really pay increases right now. And then prices of real estate will start going back up, which then makes it too hard for you to buy. So if you don't take advantage of this window and actually get started in multifamily real estate, you may be in a position where you never, ever own multifamily real estate. You may be in a position where you never own. You already know what's happening, y'all. There's a gap between the rich and the poor in this country, right? And if you do some things right, you might be able to get over that gap. You go to the right schools, you get into the right career, you know the right people, you might be able to get from here to here. But that gap is continuing to widen. And it's going to get so wide that at some point, right, some point very soon, if you were born on this side of the equation, lower middle class, lower class, poverty, etc., it's going to be almost impossible for you to get to the other side, no matter what school you go to, no matter how hard you work, no matter who you know. And so I'm trying to get you across to the other side through real estate, okay, before that gap is too wide to ever make it across. So this is why this is so urgent right now. The other thing that I have to share with you about multifamily real estate is that it's the most proven business model of all time. If you remember the feudal system in Europe, in the feudal system from 900 AD, in the feudal system, kings gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. Kings gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. So guess what, y'all? Where do you think the word landlord comes from? It comes from the feudal system. The feudal system is 1,100 years old. I cannot guarantee you that Amazon will be around 1,100 years from now. I cannot guarantee you that Apple will be around 1,100 years from now. But as long as there are human beings on the face of this earth who need housing, then I can guarantee you that multifamily real estate will still be here 1,100 years from now, and it'll be more valuable than ever. Okay, so this is the power of multifamily real estate. There's no other business model that has been better in it. It's the #1 subscription business model, better than Amazon Prime, better than Netflix. Okay, it is a #1 subscription model because people will always need a place to live. Now, before we go further, I want to address a big myth that a lot of people have is that you need a lot of money to get started in multifamily real estate. That is incorrect. Let me show it to you. This is my actual W-2 from 2012. What year did I purchase that property in Brooklyn, y'all? What year did I purchase that property in Brooklyn, y'all? In 2013. So this was the W-2 that they used to qualify me for that home. And in 2012, I only made $36,000 in my business. I only made $36,000 in my business. So I got started in multifamily real estate when I wasn't making a lot of money in New York City, the most expensive market in the world, while I was an entrepreneur and within 3 years of an economic recession. So that excuse of, oh, I don't make enough or I think I need a lot of money to get into real estate, I'm wiping that clean. Now, that was 7 years ago. Is $36,000 going to get you into multifamily real estate in New York today, right, in 2020? No, okay? I was probably on the lower end. I probably almost did not get financed given that my income was that low in 2012, okay? But what I want to say is that you do not need as much money as you think you need in order to get multifamily real estate because it is the most leveraged asset in the entire world. It is the most leveraged asset that the average person can access in the entire world. And I'm going to explain what that means in just a second, okay? So when I'm talking about multifamily real estate, what am I talking about? I'm not talking about those 60-unit buildings that you see when you drive down the freeway, et cetera, with security and a swimming pool. No, I'm not talking about those, not yet, okay? What I'm talking about is 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family homes. I'm talking about 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family homes, okay? There's only 2.6 million of them in the United States. They're also known as duplexes, triplexes, or fourplexes. And what's unique about these is that they only make up 18% of the rental supply. So we're looking for a very specific asset. Here's the power of multifamily real estate, y'all. Listen very carefully. The same documents that you would have to submit to the bank, okay, for a single family home, your W-2s, your tax returns, proof of income, your ID, your credit check, et cetera, the same exact documents that you would have to submit to the bank for a single family home are the same exact documents that you would submit to a bank for a duplex, triplex, or fourplex. No difference in the financing process and no difference in terms of the lender that you'd have to go to. When you go to 5 units or more, that becomes a commercial property, y'all. It becomes a commercial property, and that is a different lending process. But as long as we're doing a 1-family, 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family, it is the same exact financing process. And if you buy a 3-family or 4-family in the right way, that I'm going to teach you tonight, you can get to rent and mortgage freedom off of one purchase. Now, again, rent and mortgage freedom isn't full freedom, Okay, it is partial, right? That is eliminating 35% of all the money that goes out, right? That's eliminating that 35%, but it is the first step for you to get to full freedom. All right. So, what am I going to teach you tonight? This is for you. If you are a renter or single family home buyer who wants to be receiving rents monthly instead of paying rent or mortgage to someone else, okay? This is for you if you're committed to creating generational wealth for yourself and your family by having your money work for you instead of you working for it. And this is for you if you are willing to make the short-term sacrifices necessary to guarantee the long-term financial gains and freedom. All right. So before I go forward, I want to ask for your permission really quickly. If I promise to give you some great content over the remaining time that we have together, can I take 10 minutes at the end to share an opportunity for you to consider for those of you who are serious, who want to accelerate your process, who want to make sure that you don't want to make any mistakes on this journey? Please type yes in chat. Again, this is only for those who are serious and really want it. If not, it's all good. I'm gonna give you a ton of game and gems on this webinar, this free webinar alone. But if you like what you hear and you wanna go further, then I'd love to share an opportunity with you to consider, okay? I appreciate that. Cool, I appreciate it. So let's get it in, y'all. For those of you who do stay to the end, I'm actually gonna be giving you a list of down payment assistance programs organized by state. Down payment assistance programs organized by state. All right. So look out for that. That's going to be sent via email tomorrow. So Zoom will let me know who stayed to the end, and I'll download that list and I will send out. I'll download that list of people and I'll send out the list tomorrow. All right. So that's my way of saying thank you for your time. You could be doing anything right now. There's a lot of people who chose to Netflix and chill tonight. Okay. And Netflix and chilling is not going to get them to generational wealth. Here you are showing up for your last name and for your family, and I'm going to reward you for that. Some of these grant programs, literally $5,000 grants. Some of them, if you take a landlord class, they'll roll your closing costs into the mortgage, etc. So literally, this is free money. So I want to reward you with that and say thank you for your time, because I know your time is your most valuable asset. Time is more important and more valuable to us than money. Okay, you cannot buy another second of time. And so I recognize that, and I'm going to give you your money's worth, which is free. If I can't give you a penny worth of value tonight, then I have failed. Okay, this is free, but I know your time cost, right? Cool. So let's keep it pushing. How many of y'all been on some boring webinars before? How many been on some boring webinars before? All right, so let me break this down to you. I understand multifamily real estate so well that I can put all of the vocabulary and language and the detailed understandings into rhyme. And so I'm thinking about homeschooling my daughter. And when you homeschool, or even when we're teaching children, how do they learn? They learn through song and rhyme. So given that where you are on your journey from poverty consciousness to wealth consciousness, I put some financial principles into a poem that I created for you to help anchor the power of ownership for you. Okay. So let me share that poem with you. It's called the Multifamily Poem. Why don't we hack houses like frat houses where everyone living good for just a few thousand? Some will say it's lousy while they slaving proudly, spending 1/3 of their revenue to pay for housing. Living on your own, but you don't own ish. Can't even get a loan, student debt is up. Thinking a high wage is the way to get rich. Not if your living expenses rise directly with it. Trying to keep up with the Joneses, deep in debt till you croak. I'm gonna live just like the Jeffersons, pretend that I'm broke. Then I'll buy a multifamily, let the rents pay the note. Perhaps you could be my tenant. Yo, that would be dope. I keep my cost of living low along with my blood pressure, because if you always stressing, it's hard to enjoy pleasure. The man with the most is not the one who wins a race. It's the man with his soul who can look at his own face. 40 acres and a mule is what they taught us in school. I'd rather have 40 apartments and a big money pool. Leverage credit to capital and capital to cash flow. Cash is not king because the interest too low. Some call me a do-gooder. I got good deeds in my name. As the Lord of my land, I'll never be a slave. You can dabble in stocks, lose your shirt and your socks, but the demand for housing will never ever stop. Assets, assets, assets. Passive, passive, passive. These are the two keys to amass wealth quick. But quick is really relative. It's a long-term game. Who you hustling for? Your first or your last name? Boom. What is it? Bars. Bars. Look, y'all, I'm willing to go to any length except for put on a dress like some of these black men in unholy would, okay? I'm willing to go to any lengths to do whatever it takes to educate you and to get this message across. So if that means me rhyming and me rapping to educate you on these principles, I will do whatever it takes, okay? You will never find me in a dress though. That's facts, all right? So you may not recognize the power in every single bar here, okay? And when your journey to wealth consciousness, you may not comprehend everything. For instance, you've been taught that cash is king. Cash is not king, okay? Cash is pawn. Cash is not king because the interest is too low. Do you realize that cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world? You've been taught to chase paper your entire life, and cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world. In your savings account, your cash is yielding 0.03% at Bank of America. You know how long it'll take you to double your money in a savings account? 72 divided by 0.03, it's called the rule of 72. It'll take you 2,400 years to double your money in a bank account, in a savings account. The asset class that I'm teaching you at very minimum is a 12% return. 72 divided by 12 is 6, meaning that real estate, multifamily real estate, doubles your money every 6 years, not every 2,400 years, okay? So you have to understand what I call math for millionaires. I don't care if you failed high school math. I don't care if you didn't do good at calculus or algebra. There's a math for millionaires that you need to know, and what I'm teaching you is not just real estate, but I'm teaching you that math for millionaires. I know some of you went to college, you got that liberal arts education. What you need is liberation arts education. Liberal arts education, studying Shakespeare, that costs you money and puts you in debt. Liberation arts education is what gets you free, okay? And so this is what we are focused on. We're focused on the liberation of our people, one at a time, all right? So let's keep it pushing, let's get it in. Myth number 1 is that I can't afford it. And I've already addressed this a little bit by showing you my W-2 from 2012, but I want to share something with you because, again, this is beyond real estate that I'm teaching you here tonight, okay? The conscious mind only processes 40 bits of information per second. The subconscious mind processes 40 million bits of information per second. Which one is more powerful? The subconscious mind. But when the conscious mind says, I can't, then it turns off the horsepower of the subconscious mind. When you go to sleep at night, what keeps you breathing? When you go to sleep at night, what keeps you breathing? The subconscious mind. When you go to sleep at night, what keeps your heart beating? The subconscious mind. When you go to sleep at night, when your conscious mind is asleep for 8 hours or 7 hours, however long you sleep, what tells you it's time to go to the bathroom? It's the subconscious mind, y'all. The subconscious mind works for you 24/7. But when you say I can't, you actually turn off the subconscious mind. So you need to ask the question, not I can't afford it. You need to say, how can I afford it? Because when you pose a question to the subconscious mind, it will seek the answer until it finds one. This is why you wake up at 6 a.m. and you have a dream or an idea to write down because your subconscious mind was working while your conscious mind was asleep. Okay? So you have to be very specific about your language and you pose questions to the subconscious mind, not statements like I can't. So one of the big ones is the monthly payment, right? Well, the reality is that the average rent on a 2-bedroom home in the United States is $1,225. But if you look at the average mortgage on a single family home in the United States at $218,000, that's $1,199 with principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So it's literally cheaper to own a home than it is to be renting. Okay, but of course, this webinar is not about single family home. I'm just letting you know when you run the numbers, it's actually cheaper to own than it is to rent, right? This person was on one of my webinars before, and she said, hello, Julian. I love your online seminar. I really wish I could join, but being a single working mom right now is what's preventing me from pursuing my dreams. At this time, I pay $1,200 a month for 9 years, which is insane for rent to a slumlord who never fixes anything, and if he does, it's used, okay? So I want you to be very clear about what's happening here. This individual is using the crutch of single mom, right? And we all do this. We all take that area of weakness that we have and we use that as our crutch and our excuse. Oh, I didn't graduate from high school, or I didn't graduate from college, or I have ADHD, right? Or I didn't have a dad growing up, or I'm a foster kid. We take whatever crutch in the area of weakness and we start using that as our excuse for why we're not accomplishing things. But here's how you channel that. Is there a foster youth out there that owns multifamily real estate, y'all? Is there a foster youth out there that owns multifamily real estate? Is there a single mom out there who owns multifamily real estate? Is there a person with ADHD who owns multifamily real estate? Is there a person who did not graduate from high school that owns multifamily real estate? So if there's one example that is counter to what you just used as your excuse, then it is no longer a valid excuse. So when we look at this, we need to stop playing victim and we need to take ownership and just step up, okay? And so when you look at this individual, they've been in the same place, living under a slumlord for 9 years, okay? How long does the lease last, y'all? How long does the lease last? It lasts 1 year. If at any point this individual wanted to move her family, she could have moved. But she slipped into victim consciousness, and we all do it in our own way. Okay? So over the course of 9 years, she has literally paid this slumlord, somebody who does not care about her, her family, or our community, $129,000. And that is without interest. She has coughed up $129,000 to a slumlord. Okay? How are we ever going to catch up, even though I don't compare myself to other cultures or other people? How do we catch up? How do we build generational wealth when we're giving away money to quote unquote oppressor? We'll never be able to do that. Okay? So we got to get and change this equation around. Now, in chat, please let me know how much, and if I ask you all to calculate how much rent you've been paying since you've been quote unquote living on your own, it'll probably make you all sick. See, in our community, we think that living on our own is a stage of rites of passage, that we're actually being responsible. We are actually being financially stupid living on our own. Yep, I said it. You're being financially stupid living on your own. I didn't live on my own at all. I've never lived on my own. We think it's, oh, I'm responsible. I'm adulting now because I live on my own. It makes no sense financially. Okay? So we need to stop. We need to say, look, I'm going to go crash my mama's basement until I stack up enough bread to go own something. Okay? Then once I own something, now I'm adulting, not me renting. Right? So in chat, please let me know how much you pay in rent or how much do you pay in mortgage. Type 1,000 rent or 1,000 mortgage. 1,000 rent or 1,000 mortgage. Let me know in chat. 600 rent, 2,200, 1,000, 1,100. Some of y'all literally typed 1,000. 1,300, 4K mortgage. Wow. 1,400 mortgage, 1,250 rent, 650 rent, 1,600 mortgage, 1,400 mortgage, 1,500 mortgage. A lot of people with mortgages here. A lot of mortgage. $220 mortgage. Wow. 1,500 mortgage. 1,615 rent, 2,400 rent, 2,200 rent, 795 rent, 2,400 rent, 1,650 mortgage, 900 mortgage, 5,100. Wow. 2,100 mortgage, 2,347 mortgage. All right, stop, y'all. Y'all making me sad. Let me just take this. Let me just run these numbers for you, okay? So given how many people are on this webinar right now, I'm gonna just run some math for you so you can see. If we say that there are, the average here is about 1,500, look at this, y'all, times the number of people on this webinar, times 12 months. Guess how much money we put out every single month just to people on this webinar, y'all? Can y'all see that? $9 million a year. That's just the folks on this webinar. In rent and mortgage expense. Just y'all on this webinar. Okay? So we got to change that equation around. Watch this, watch this. If you could, instead of paying somebody else $1,000 a month in rent or mortgage expense, if we could keep that and invest it at 5% every single month for the next 40 years, how much money will we have, y'all? How much money do you think you would have? If you could keep that $1,000 a month and instead of paying it to someone else, actually invest it at 5% every single month for the next 40 years, how much money do you think you would have? You would all have $1.5 million. You would all have $1.5 million. Tonight, I'm showing you a proven path to become a millionaire. But I want to be very clear. This is not get rich quick. This is get rich guaranteed over time. This is get rich guaranteed over time. If we can literally just get your rent expense off the table, if we can literally just get your single family mortgage off the table and you can invest that money at a conservative 5%, you will all be millionaires guaranteed over time. Now, some of you are like, Julian, I don't have 40 years. I'm 60 years old. I don't know if I can do that. Stop being so selfish. If you have children, if you have grandkids, go get the baton 20 years down the road so that they aren't starting at zero. Okay? You may have to just chalk it up and say, I'm going to sacrifice everything that I can to make sure that the next generation is better off than I was. Okay? Because I started off at zero. Instead, I started off at negative. I'm going to make sure that my kids or my grandkids don't have to start off at zero or negative. The hardest part of generational wealth, y'all, is being the first generation to do it. The hardest part of generational wealth is being the first generation to do it. Okay? So we're going to have to make some sacrifices. Y'all think this is just going to be a cakewalk? No, it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's going to require sacrifice. Look at this, y'all. I drove a 2000 Honda Accord until 2018. Most of y'all on this webinar had nicer cars than me. I didn't buy a new 4-door car until I had 10 apartments. I did not buy a new 4-door car until I had 10 doors of real estate. This is the sacrifice that I made. But some of y'all are too caught up on worrying about what other people think and other people's perceptions of you, trying to keep up with the Joneses when that does not matter. Most of the Joneses are in debt and broke because everybody's trying to look the part for each other. All right? So let me just come at y'all real quick. For those of you who are renters. For those of you who are renters, I need you to accept the reality that you are actually homeless. For all of you who are renting, you are homeless. See, you thought that you were just going to be renting temporarily to position yourself for ownership, but then you moved into this rental and you got comfortable. You started unpacking all your boxes. You started painting the walls, putting up bookshelves, buying furniture to fit in certain nooks in this apartment that is not even yours. Okay? You were not on the title and you were not on the deed, yet you were calling it subconsciously my apartment or my home. It is not your home. It is not your apartment. So stop calling it that. When you send out your invitations after the quarantine is over, do not put come over to my house on the invitation. Stop lying. Say, come over to Tommy's house, come over to Sally's house, because that's where I've been renting for the past 5 years. Okay? When you came in, you should have actually just moved in with all your boxes and you should have left them packed. You should have been eating off of paper plates and plastic silverware. Okay? Because why would you unpack somewhere where you plan to only be temporarily? When I'm traveling on vacation, I don't unpack my suitcase. I live out of the suitcase. Why? Because I know that I'm only going to be there temporarily. What I look like putting my stuff in drawers and hanging everything up. I don't live here. This is not mine. I know that I'm leaving shortly. So go do what you got to do. Go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, go to U-Haul, go get boxes and start packing up. I want you to refuse to renew your lease. For those of you who are renters, refuse to renew your lease. It's time to get up, get out, and get something. See, here we have a homeless person who's probably been through physical trauma, mental trauma, probably dealing with drug addiction, no money, no bank account, no ID, no social security, no family, okay? No roof over their head, no food, no college education, no job. And here you are with the internet, with this $1,000 smartphone, a computer that you're watching this webinar on, a good head on your shoulders, your right mind, a decent job, all this education. How is it that this homeless person owns as many properties as you do? Zero. This homeless person owns as many properties as you do. Zero. That does not make any sense whatsoever. So it's time for all of you who are renting to say, look, I'm fed up. I refuse to renew, and I'm going to do something different. I refuse to renew this lease because I'm going to make a change that moves me to ownership, to actually having something that I can call my own. Right? So that's a little bit of tough love. But look, y'all, look, this is my heart right here. This is coming from a place of love. I realize that soft stuff doesn't work. Okay? So love is the noun, tough is the adjective. This is the only way that I know to move. This is the only way that I've seen people move. That soft stuff, oh, just pursue your dreams. Nah, that stuff don't work. So I got to come at y'all as real as I possibly can, because for some of you, I may never see you again. I may never see you again. I want to make sure that this message lands. Okay? Now, for those of you who are single family buyers, you're on this webinar, and of course, it ain't safe, it ain't safe, it ain't safe. For those of you who bought single family homes, I want you to be very aware of what you stepped into. If you look at the etymology of the word mortgage, and you take the prefix mort, what are the words have the word mort at the beginning? Mortician, mortuary. Why? Because a mortgage literally means death pledge. The word mortgage literally means death pledge. Here we are on Instagram. Look at me, I bought a home. You happy that you just signed a 30-year death pledge. What is there to celebrate about that, y'all? What is there to celebrate about that? Okay? So for those of you who bought a single family home, you know that your first mortgage payment, what percentage of your first mortgage payment went to principal and what percent went to interest? Your first mortgage payment was 70% interest and only 30% went to principal. So if you had a $1,000 mortgage payment, 700 went to the bank and only 300 went to your actual principal. This is where the trickery is, y'all. This is where the trickery is. They call it the American dream. Everything that they call the American dream is actually to trap you. They say go to college, then what do you get? Debt. They give you a 10-cent piece of paper for $100,000 in student debt. That is the exchange. They tell you to go get a single family home, and then you end up buying your banker a home with all the interest that you pay, right? They tell you to go get a good paying job, and now you only have one stream of income. You lose that job, and now you're economically vulnerable. That's why 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Watch this, y'all. Y'all think that America is against black people. America's not against black people. It has nothing to do with race. If there were no black people on the face of this country, guess what? America would still be America. This is about class more so than it is race. And here's how you know. Black people only make up 14% of the United States. Yet 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. That means that there are a lot of white Americans who think that because they're white, they're on the other side of the equation, that are actually struggling because of the powers that be. This has nothing to do with race, y'all. It has everything to do with people in power trying to oppress as many people as they possibly can so that they stay in power. They don't care what color you are. Okay? So, for those of you who bought a single family home, let me break it down for you. Let me break down the transaction. The truth is, you think that you're not paying rent. The truth is the bank buys your home and then it rents it to you for 30 years. You thought you weren't paying rent anymore? You're not paying rent to a landlord, but you're paying rent to the bank for what? Their money. You're renting money from the bank. Okay? The interest on a $300,000 home at 3.5% down at 4% is $208,000. You take $208,000, you divide that by 360 months. So all the single family mortgage of people, you are paying the equivalent of $578 per month in rent to the bank. Okay, again, it's not rent to the landlord, it's rent to the bank for their money. You watch enough HGTV, they'll have you fooled. Say, congrats, you're a homeowner. You are not a homeowner. Almost none of y'all who are here who are single family buyers are homeowners. I'm not even a home. Actually, I do own a couple homes, full outright, because I bought them in cash. Okay? At the moment you get the keys, you are a home buyer. You only own 3.5% of your home. So stop calling yourself a homeowner because you're not. We have to be very clear about our language or else we will get fooled and deceived. Right? Stop me when I'm lying, y'all. And I have not included their private mortgage insurance, your homeowner's insurance, or the property taxes. So some of you who have single family homes who thought you were doing it right, you have more money going out of your household every single month due to housing than someone who was renting the same square footage next to you. Okay? So if you can pay rent, you can own a single family home. Okay? But that's not what this is about. If you don't want to pay rent or a mortgage, you can simply own a multifamily home. This is the name of the game. All right? So the down payment. Some of you feel like, oh, Julian, I'll never be able to save for the down payment. Well, that's where you say I can't afford it, and it cuts off the opportunities and possibilities for you. Did you know that there are no money down programs out there, y'all? There are literally no money down programs. Okay? And no down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration. These are not stock images. These are men that I actually know who went through this program. See, your intellectual property, what you know, can actually get you physical property. Some of y'all simply don't know enough, right? This program is called NACA, www.naca.com, okay? No down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration, below market 30-year and 15-year fixed rates. So that idea of I can't afford it anymore, that has been 100% erased. It is gone. You can't use it anymore. I've given you a way to get finance for multifamily real estate, okay? The next option you have is government's FHA program. Government's 3.5% down FHA program means that for a $300,000 duplex like this one that I have here in New Orleans, you would only have to put 3.5% down, which is $10,500. $10,500. Okay, to control this $300,000 asset. Notice I said control, not own. Okay, This is the new language I want you to take on until your mortgage is paid, okay? I control this asset, okay, for only $10,500, all right? So here's the name of the game. This is why you should buy multifamily first. If you use the FHA program to buy your single family, now you put 3.5% down on a $100,000 home. And disregard the prices of the home, just look at the math and how it works out, okay? We can make these numbers bigger if you want to, but I'm trying to do it for simple math. 3.5% down on a $100,000 single family home is $3,500. Then you come to this webinar and you say, I own a single family home, I wanna own multifamily now. Little did you know is that your next investment, okay, your second property, which would be an investment property, is 25% down. 25% down on $300,000 is $75,000. So when you add up those two down payments, that's $78,000 in down payments that you would have to save up. But watch this, y'all. If we literally just switch the sequence, we use the 3.5% down to buy our multifamily first. 3.5% down on $300,000 is $10,500. And then after living there for 1 year, which is the FHA requirement, then you go put 20 to 25% down on your single family home of $100,000, which is only $25,000. And look, when you add up those two down payments, you only get $35,000. So it's literally twice as easy to buy a multifamily first and then a single family than it is to buy a single family and then a multifamily. Please type clear if this makes sense, y'all. Please type clear if this makes sense. All we did was change the sequence. That's it. All we did was change the sequence. So if you are a single family buyer who is here tonight, I need you to do me a favor, okay? And I'm not doing this to shame you, but if you are a single family buyer and you're just learning this, please type messed up. If you feel you messed up, type messed up. I'm not doing this to shame you. I'm doing this so that we can educate all those who are renting right now to not follow in those footsteps. Renters, are you seeing this? Renters, you literally have 50 plus single family buyers who are telling you, do not go down my path. Of course, they're never going to post this on Instagram, right? But here in this anonymous space, they're letting you know, do not do what I did, all right? And for those of you who are single family buyers, I need you to type 6'5". Type 6'5". Type 6'5". Here's why. There are 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation, and there are 5 ways to use FHA twice. There are 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation. You are not in a permanent hole, okay? But we may have to go backwards to go forwards like a bow and arrow. Bow and arrow, you go backwards to go forwards. Again, there's 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation. Only 2 of them require you to sell, okay? And there's 5 ways to use FHA twice. I'm gonna get to those in just a second, okay? So I see that we have a lot more people that came in. So again, if you just joined us, my name is Julian Gordon. This is my actual real estate portfolio. These are the 10 multifamily homes that I control in Brooklyn, Oakland, and New Orleans. I have 30 apartments, 13.83% cash on cash return, $4.1 million in value, and $36,000 in monthly rents that I get from these particular properties, all right? So next, I want to show you the exact play that I'm trying to teach you to run, all right? Here's how the play works. Most of you here are renting, okay? And so right now you're renting $1,000 a month, you're saving $250, you pay that rent to a landlord. That landlord takes that $3,000, right? And then it pays the mortgage of $1,500 for the property, right? And they pocket the other $1,500. Now you want to acquire a rental just like that landlord, okay? And so this is exactly what I did in Brooklyn. Now I moved into this apartment, the first floor. I was getting rent from the second and third floor of $2,000. But guess what, y'all? I'm no longer paying rent anymore, so that's actually $3,000 in my pocket. So I take that $3,000, I pay the mortgage for the multifamily, and now I'm living rent-free, rent and mortgage-free, plus I have $1,500 in my pocket, okay? Some of you are literally 3 months away from achieving this. You didn't even know it. Before you came here, you did not know that rent and mortgage freedom was actually just 3 months away for some of you here, okay? So after you live there for 1 year with the FHA requirement, 1 year living requirement, for those of you who don't want to be sharing walls with anybody, you don't want anybody living above you, you want your single family home with the white picket fence and your dog named Lassie and your nuclear family, because that's what you've been programmed to have, then after a year, you can literally just go move into the single family that you desire. You rent out the unit that you were living in. So that's $3,000 coming from this building, okay? also the $1,000 from you not paying rent a year ago. Okay, so that's $4,000 in your pocket. You take that $4,000, you pay $1,500 mortgage over here. You pay the $1,500 mortgage on your single family home. And now you have two properties, one a 3-family and your single family of your dreams. You're not paying the mortgage on either one, and you have $1,000 in your pocket. Some of you are literally about 12 to 15 months away from achieving this if you just execute. Okay? This is the name of the game. This is the exact play that I'm teaching you to run. The key is making sure you buy this property right. You have to get this right. If you buy this wrong, you will end up backpedaling and it will take you a lot longer. You will have to wait for that property to organically appreciate before you can actually execute on this. This is the name of the game, all right? So the multifamily math. If I told you I found an ATM machine that would eliminate your $1,000 a month rent expense forever, and on top of that, give you an extra $90 cash every single month guaranteed, all you have to do is pay $10,500 one time. Would you give up or go get the money? Please let me know in chat. I found an ATM machine that yields $1,090 every single month guaranteed. All you have to do is pay $10,500 one time, and it is yours. Would you give up or go get the money? This basic equation is called cash on cash return. And you would literally be able to pay yourself back the debt, the $10,500 back in 10 months. You would get all your money back in 10 months. This is an amazing investment, okay? So let me show you my ATM money, y'all. This is my ATM. Y'all been driving by it on your way to work, on your way to the grocery store, on your way to pick up your kids. This is my ATM machine. You've been looking at real estate from an aesthetic standpoint because that's what HGTV teaches you to do. I look at real estate from an economic standpoint. This $300,000 duplex, 3.5% down is $10,500. Rent, $3,200. The mortgage, $1,259. Taxes and insurance, $335. CapEx, repair reserve, and vacancy rate, $515. The cash flow on this property is $1,089.93. This is my ATM machine, y'all. Doesn't look like the one at the bank. Doesn't look like the one at the bodega. But this is my ATM machine. And it pays me every single month like clockwork. So answer me this. What other business can you buy for $300,000 with only $10,500 down? Get financed for the other $289,000 in 30 to 45 days simply by submitting some documents to the bank. Have that business immediately cash flow within 30 days and succeed with minimal time, effort, or experience. Please let me know in chat. There are none, y'all. This is why multifamily real estate is the first asset that you should have in your family's name, okay? Now, when it comes to multifamily real estate, this is different than buying single family real estate. When you're buying single family real estate, it's 3 decisions. How much I get approved for? $500,000, okay? How much is the home? It's $480. Do I like it? Yes. 3 factors, that's it. When it comes to buying multifamily real estate, there's literally 23 numbers that you need to know to evaluate a real estate deal properly. This is the Purchaser Pass Deal Analyzer. It is a financial model that I built out that I use to evaluate every single deal. You have to know what these 23 numbers are, how to find the information, how to plug it in, and how to do it quickly, okay? If you forget one number out of the 23, you could literally step into a bad deal. If you get one number wrong, you could miss a deal by not moving on it, or you could actually step in a bad deal because you miscalculated. So this makes sure that you never make a mistake on a real estate deal, because real estate is not about the aesthetics, it is about the economics, okay? So there's 23 numbers that you need to know, not just 3, all right? So I use the Purchaser Pass Deal Analyzer. I evaluate a deal in less than 10 minutes, okay? I text my agent, say this is my offer price, and then they send me a purchase agreement via DocuSign, and I sign that. So within 30 minutes, my offer is in. Within 30 minutes, my offer is in. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer, y'all, all right? So this is key number 1, which is the multifamily math. The next thing we need to explore is myth number 2, which is I missed my opportunity. I've already explained to you with COVID that you did not miss your opportunity, that your opportunity is right, because real estate prices are dropping, okay? The interest rates are low as ever, and rents are actually going up, all right? So in real estate, you don't miss opportunities. The way the game really works is that you create opportunities. Whether the market is up or down, I'm always going to be looking for real estate deals because there are always deals to be found, right? But the problem is that you've been trained to look at opportunities with the wrong set of eyes. You've been taught to look at opportunities with single family buyer eyes due to HGTV, okay? So you have to learn how to see opportunities. This is what I call HGTV foolishness. I want to be 100% clear. Your first investment property probably won't look like anything on HGTV. Your first investment property won't look like anything you've ever seen on HGTV. None of my properties have granite countertops. And guess what, y'all? I don't care. The only thing I care about is that they have guaranteed cash flow. Okay? You have to know the difference. Okay? So you've been watching shows like The Property Brothers. I say, screw The Property Brothers. I'm your new property brother with an A, and I'm going to keep it real with you about real estate. I'm about guaranteed cash flow, not granite countertops. You got to decide which one you were focused on. Okay? You got to decide which one you were focused on. So let me share with you my first multifamily home, the one in Brooklyn. Okay? This is my first home, and I want to be 100% clear. This was not my dream home, and I was fully aware of that when I stepped into it, but it made my dreams possible. This is not my dream home. Some of y'all want to buy your dream home right away. This home will pay for my dream home, but it was not my dream home. Okay? So it's not a traditional brownstone. Doesn't look like the Cosbys. Okay? It had linen white paint, right? And then the floors are nice, but look at the kitchen. Formica countertops. These are literally the cheapest countertops that you can buy at Lowe's or Home Depot. Basic cabinets from Lowe's or Home Depot. No stainless steel appliances whatsoever. Okay? The only thing stainless steel in that kitchen was a sink. All right? So this was my first multifamily home in Brooklyn. But I knew that this is what I needed to get in the game because I saw it for the economics of it, not for the aesthetics. All right? So here's what you have to know. There's a major distinction between single-family HGTV buyers and multifamily investors. Single-family HGTV buyers are looking for granite countertops. Multifamily investors are looking for guaranteed cash flow. Single-family HGTV buyers buy based on emotions. Multifamily investors buy based on economics. Single-family HGTV buyers are looking for their dream home. Multifamily investors are looking for an asset that will pay for their dream home. Single-family HGTV buyers are looking for a finished basement. Multifamily investors are looking to start building their wealth. You have to ask yourself, which side of the equation do you want to be on? Literally, some of y'all are out here going to property viewings and you are enamored by an $800 double door stainless steel refrigerator. Why would you make a $400,000 decision off of an $800 refrigerator that you can go get from Lowe's or Home Depot right now? You're looking at the granite countertops. Ooh, look at these granite countertops. Granite countertop with the undermount sink costs about $1,200. Why would you make a $400,000 decision based off of a $1,200 countertop? This is why you cannot allow HGTV to train you and you think that you understand real estate. This is not how multifamily real estate investing works. You can think about that when it's time to buy your single family home and your dream home, but this is not what we are looking for when we are buying multifamily real estate, all right? So from there, we got to look at the multifamily map. And many of you are probably using a real estate agent and using websites for your search. I don't look on Trulia, Zillow, or Redfin for multifamily real estate deals. I want to be very clear with you. Trulia and Zillow have a lot of real estate listings. What letter is this, y'all? What letter do you see? What letter do you see? An L. You try to buy a real estate deal on Trulia and Zillow, you will take an L. They have listings. What are we looking for? We're looking for real estate deals. Real estate listings and real estate deals are two different things, okay? Rihanna said, mass marketed listings regularly command a 30% premium to off-market deals. Why? Because everybody's looking at the same property at the same time. That causes price to go up. How many of you had a hookup at Foot Locker or the batting cage or miniature golf? When you were in high school, how many of y'all had a hookup at some sort of store because your friend worked there? How many had a hookup? Okay. I had a friend who worked at Foot Locker when I was in high school, and I got the silver Tim Duncans. I got them one before anyone else got them, and I got them at a discount, right? All because I had a relationship. I had a relationship with somebody, okay? That is called an off-market deal. But we've typically taken off-market deals to buy liabilities and to acquire expenses like shoes, okay? What we're doing is trying to take that same concept of an off-market deal before it hits some sort of website, before it's available to everyone. We're trying to take that same concept and we're trying to buy assets that produce income, okay? So you all know what an off-market deal is. You all got the hookup somewhere. We just want to take that same principle and we don't want to apply it to real estate. So I get off-market deals coming to me from all different sources: Instagram, text message, email, Facebook. I'm finding off-market deals, and off-market deals are finding me every single day. Okay. This is how we step into real estate in terms of buying right. We do not buy in the frenzy and get into bidding wars with other people. That is not how we find a real estate deal. One of my students closed on this property in Birmingham, Alabama, and Gabrielle said, "Congratulations, did you find this deal on Zillow?" Ronique said, "No, I found it through a real estate financial broker who knew a wholesaler." This is a game of research and relationships. You have to know who you need to know, okay? And you have to know where to do the research in order to find off-market deals, all right? Now, in order to do that, you need to develop the 4 eyes of real estate. Okay, the 4 eyes of real estate are eyes for the market. 1, how do you know if a market is expanding or if it's contracting? What trends and data are you looking at? Then you have to have the 33 signs of gentrification for a neighborhood. Okay, you know there's 33 signs of gentrification. 33 signs of gentrification. One of those signs of gentrification is a white girl running through the neighborhood at 9:30 p.m. with her earpods in her Lululemon, not looking over her shoulder and feeling very comfortable. That is a sign of gentrification, y'all. Okay, it just is. I'm sorry, it is. Okay, I'm not trying to be offensive. It just is. All right. So you have to understand what those signs of gentrification are and be able to identify them. Now, do we want to buy multifamily real estate in a neighborhood that has all 33 signs of gentrification? No, because then you're buying at the top of the market. You want to buy in a market that has 15 to 20 signs of gentrification and is moving towards 33 signs of gentrification. All right. Then you have to have eyes for the property. When I go into a property, I'm not looking for granite countertops and stainless steel appliances. I go into a property and I'm looking for the hidden value, right? These are about 30 signs of hidden value and the hidden cost. Okay. I'm not looking at the same things that novice buyers are looking at. This is all in the Multifamily Movement Real Estate Investor Workbook. Okay. I've taken all the processes that I know in my mind intuitively, right, that I've learned through buying multifamily real estate over and over and over again. I've taken all of that and I put it into processes that anybody can use. This is why my students are so successful. And then you have to have eyes for the deal. There's typically 3 ways to structure any real estate deal. You have to know which one is best for the particular property that you're looking at. Okay. You also need to have a real estate advisor, not just a real estate agent. Do you realize that real estate agents don't know how to calculate, most real estate agents don't know how to calculate cash on cash return? Cash on cash return is the number one calculation that you need to know to evaluate multifamily real estate. Most real estate agents don't know how to do it. Why? Because it's not on the real estate exam, y'all. It's not on the real estate exam. Most real estate agents are in the business of selling single family homes to American dreamers. They don't know anything about investing, okay? And so you have to be more knowledgeable about the game than your own agent. Now, you will use your agent to execute on the deal, but you have to be the one to evaluate the deal. I lead my agents don't lead me, and I only work with real estate agents that have bought multifamily real estate themselves. The 2 agents that I have here, yes, I have 2 agents. I don't sign an exclusive contract with any agent, okay? Not as an investor, nope. That would cut me off from finding deals elsewhere, off-market deals from another agent. You have to stand in your power. You have to know the game, and you use your agents to execute, okay? But you do not let your agents use you. Some of y'all are signed up on an agent's email list, and y'all getting the same emails every single day. You don't even open them anymore. How many of y'all on a real estate agent's email list? They sending you listings, you don't even open them anymore. Let me know. That is being lazy. Those listings are coming from the MLS, and there are thousands of people who are seeing those exact same listings as you every single day. That's why you don't open them anymore. And then some of y'all are out here, oh, this house is cute. Let me bookmark it. Let me click the little heart. I'm going to go look at it this weekend, and it's Tuesday. You realize that if that is really a real estate deal, you know that that deal will not be available on the weekend? If you're dealing with somebody like me, I'm going to have my offering in 30 minutes, and you talking about, I'm going to go look at this on the weekend. You got to know what you are up against when a deal comes to pass, all right? So myth number 3, we're going to wrap up. Myth number 3, I need to pay down my debt first. This is going to give some of y'all a headache. Some of y'all won't be able to grasp this, okay? But just listen carefully. I need to pay down my debt first. You think that's a good thing. The truth is, you need to buy an asset that will pay down your debt first. The truth is, you need to buy an asset that will pay down your debt first. Some of y'all are rushing to pay down debt, and you're doing it the wrong way. Some of y'all on that Dave Ramsey plan, okay? Let me be clear with you. Debt-free does not mean financially free. Debt-free does not mean financially free. Is it a good thing that you're debt-free? Maybe, okay? But if all your income is still active income, then you are still not financially free. Financial freedom is when your passive income from an asset like real estate is greater than your cost of living. If you are debt-free, but you still have 100% active income, then you are not financially free, y'all. Okay? So you got to understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. A lot of y'all have bad debt, okay? Bad debt is debt that you have to pay back. Credit cards, single-family mortgage, student loans. I know they told you that a single-family home and going to college were good for you, and student loans are good debt. Student loans are one of the worst kind of debt you can have. Why? Because you can never file bankruptcy for it. Okay? These are all lies. It's all branding, y'all. The government makes like $82 billion in student loan interest every single year. The government is happy to give out debt to financially illiterate 18-year-olds. Okay? So what you ultimately want to do is you want to acquire debt that you use to buy an asset, okay, that then pays the debt and leaves you with the benefits. Okay? So if you use debt like a mortgage to buy multifamily real estate, you acquire an asset that produces cash flow, you use that to pay off your single-family mortgage. Then the fact that you're no longer paying rent, you use that to pay off your credit cards. And then the tax savings on that property, you use that to pay off your student loans. Okay? This is how you use good debt to pay off bad debt, right? And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove to you how silly rushing to pay off your debt is. How many of you have student loans? How many of you have student loans? Dang, they got us all, huh? Didn't they get us all? It's crazy. The quote unquote American dream. Straight lies, homie. So peep game. Some of y'all on that Dave Ramsey plan. And let me show you this. 2 students with $40,000 in student debt. Watch this, y'all. One student is on the Dave Ramsey plan, and they're like, oh, I want to rush to pay off my debt. I'm going to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, top ramen. I'm going to sleep on my mom's floor for the next 2 years, and I'm going to pay off my debt because I want to ring Dave Ramsey's bell. And so they rush to pay off their student debts, $20,000 a year, okay? So they do that successfully, and they're doing their thing. The other person came to this webinar, and instead of rushing to pay off their debt, they used that money to make a down payment on a $300,000 home, a multifamily home, okay? So watch this. Now person A, who was rushing to pay off their student debt, after 2 years, they paid off their student debt to nil net Sally Mae. They think they did the right thing, right? And now they want to go get a multifamily home. But guess what? How much does that home cost 4 years later? How much does that $300,000 home cost 4 years later? It cost $340,000. Why? Because it appreciated by 3% every single year. Okay? So listen to this, y'all. Person A rushed to pay off their student debt, $40,000, thinking that they were doing the right thing. Now they want to buy the same asset that person B acquired 4 years earlier, but now they have to pay $40,000 additional for the same exact asset. They rush to pay off $40,000 of debt only to have it handed back to them in the form of a mortgage. Listen to this. They rush to pay off $40,000 in student debt thinking that they were being good, only to have the same $40,000 handed back to them in the form of a mortgage. Did y'all catch that? They paid the debt twice. They literally paid the $40,000 debt twice. While person B, who bought the asset, is up $40,000 in net worth, and the cash flow from the property was paying off her student loans down the entire time. This is what financial literacy will cause you to do. Pay $40,000 in debt 2 times. Okay? So we have to get it right, and we have to get an asset. We have to get an asset, all right? So now there's 4 financial benefits of multifamily real estate and when you buy right, okay? This one property that I've showed you over the course of this webinar, this is what it's gonna do for me and my last name over the next 30 years, okay? I told you, this is not get rich quick, okay? Some of y'all got caught up in MLMs and giving flowers and giving trees and giving pods and things that they're calling susus, which are not really susus, right? They're just pyramid schemes. How many of y'all got caught up in MLM before or some sort of pyramid scheme? Just to be honest. I know me in college, I got caught up 2x2.net. I got caught up. I was like, oh, I just want to be rich. Oh, this looks like I can get rich quick and I'll have residual income for the rest of my life. Didn't work out that way. The only people who were eating were the people at the top. Okay. I hope some of them are in jail by now. Right? Susus are legitimate, but what they were calling susus, these giving pods and flowers, not legitimate, y'all. All right. So look at what this one property, this is get rich guaranteed over time, y'all. Okay. So this one property, the cash flow over the next 30 years after principal, interest, tax, insurance, capex, repair reserve, and vacancy rate will be $638,000. Okay. The tax savings on this property that I do not pay Uncle Sam will be $278,000. The principal pay down will be $225,000. The appreciation, if this property appreciates by 1% every single year for the next 30 years, will be additional $104,000 in value. So total over the next 30 years, the net worth change in my family's last name will be $1.2 million because of this one single purchase. And I have 10 of them, y'all. And I have no intention of stopping. Let me put it to you like this way. My daughter is 6 years old right now. At the age of 35, when all these mortgages are paid, if I stop right now, she will have $25,000 per month, every single month in positive cash flow for the rest of her life. $25,000 per month, forever. You think that buying your kids Jordans and things of that nature and putting on big birthday parties is love? That's not love, y'all. Doing the sacrifice that I've done over the past 6 years to make sure that my last name is set up, that's true love. True love gotta last beyond your presence. This is what generational wealth is really all about. My daughter don't even understand it. She don't even recognize it. But when she gets it, she will appreciate it. When she understands, I'm gonna do my best to educate her on what daddy's been up to this entire time on her behalf. Okay, this is how we create generational wealth, y'all. So the $1 million question is, what are you going to do today to make sure that you are not economically vulnerable like this tomorrow? Coronavirus exposed a lot of y'all. Helped you. Whoops, my camera went out. Oops, hold on. Y'all can still hear me? Please let me know. I don't know what happened to my camera. All right, cool, we're back. Sorry about that, I don't know what happened. All right, so coronavirus exposed a lot of y'all. You realize that you had no assets whatsoever. You might have had a good job with active income, but if that job were to leave you, you would be economically vulnerable. So there's sacrifices that you have to make now to make sure that you are never in this position again, whether the economy changes. We don't know if this thing is going to swing back around, right? But if you've gotten your rent and mortgage expense taken care of, right, then you will at least be straight in that regard, right? So we need to get some assets under the table. So a lot of people talk about securing the bag. Well, here's how you secure the bag. You do that by securing a building, and then that will secure your housing, your retirement, and your legacy. Okay? So with that, in chat, please let me know, what was your greatest takeaway from tonight? What was your greatest takeaway from tonight? Let me know in chat. I always want to get a quick recap. I want to hear what resonated with folks. The 23 numbers, start now, no money down, independence, everything. You should go FHA loan first. FHA on a multifamily first. Buy multifamily. Cash is not king. NACA, this is possible. Assets are good debt. Get started. Cash on cash equation. Passive income. 4 eyes of real estate. There are no excuses. Beautiful. Y'all caught the major points, and that's what this is really all about. Okay, cool. So earlier I asked for your permission if I drop some gems on y'all, if I could have permission to take some time to share an opportunity with you to consider. This is only for those who are serious, only for those who want to actually implement this in their life, don't want to make mistakes along the way. I would love to take a moment to share this opportunity. If you're not interested whatsoever, that's perfectly fine. I hope I've given you enough gems tonight to take action. I think I have. Go visit programs like NACA, etc., and go start searching for real estate. Okay, but if you really want to help to make sure that you do this the right way, that you buy right, then I would love to share this opportunity with you. So do I have approval to share this with y'all right now? I have approval to share this with y'all right now? Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, cool. So let me get into it because I know we're getting late. So here's the deal. Obviously, for those of you who are still here, you're here because you want generational wealth, you want passive income, you want more freedom, and I know because that was me too. Now, when it comes to real estate, there's many different ways to make money in real estate: tax liens, wholesaling, vacation rentals like Airbnb, fixing and flipping. And where my expertise is actually in multifamily real estate. Obviously, I've demonstrated that in the past hour that we've been together. This is where I can do a deep dive with you and just really show you the game. For those of you who came in late, this is my actual real estate portfolio. These are the properties that I control at this moment in time. And today they yield about $36,000 per month in rent. Now I want to be very clear and transparent. That is not all money that goes into my pocket, y'all. Okay. I keep about 40% of that as cash flow. I keep about 40% of that as cash flow. And once the mortgages are paid off, then I will keep about 80% of that as cash flow. And then I set aside money for CapEx, repair reserve, and vacancy rate to make sure that I upkeep the assets. Is that clear? Can everybody type clear if that makes sense? I do not pocket $36,000 per month. Okay? Not yet. All right? I keep about 40% as positive cash flow after I pay off the expenses. Okay. A lot of people will tell you, oh, I got this $1 million company. Yeah, you made $1 million in revenue, but you only got $50,000 in profit. No, I'm trying to be very clear with you about how the game works. I do not want to mislead you or deceive you in any kind of way. Okay. I'm being as transparent as possible about the numbers. All right. Now, for those of you who are cynics and doubters and wondering if this is real and true, you can go to nolaassessor.com, nolaassessor.com, and you can search for Julian Newton Gordon or Purpose Properties. And you can see all the properties that I control here in New Orleans. Okay. There are 8 properties that I control here in New Orleans. You can go look at that yourself to verify if you believe that these are some stock images or whatnot. But usually cynics and doubters, they don't move on things. They worry themselves out of advancement, right? They're always looking for what's wrong instead of what's right. And so I just want to put that out there for anybody who is doubting or curious. I do encourage you all to do your due diligence, right? I want you to do due diligence on me, on this program, and on multifamily real estate, whatever deal you do. So what I want to invite you to participate is in a program that I created called the Multifamily Masterplan, which is a 12-week experience where I'll walk you through everything that we just discussed and a lot more to accelerate how quickly you're able to buy a multifamily home the right way that gives you rent freedom for those of you who are renters and or positive cash flow that pays another debt for those of you who are single family buyers like a mortgage, student loans, credit cards, or medical bills. The way that program is set up, it's 5 modules. There's finance it, find it, finalize it, fix it, and fill it. Okay, those are the specific modules, and I'll walk through those really quick. In the finance module, I'll show you no to low money down programs and grants you can use to get started without a huge savings. What exactly are lenders looking for, the key numbers and ratios you need to be aware of, quick credit fixes to improve your credit score and keep your interest rate down and save tens of thousands of dollars. FHA loans debunk the dark side that most people don't tell you beyond it being 3.5%, why you must shop for lenders first and not the home, and how to get the lowest interest rate possible, and then why you should go as big as possible on your first multifamily home as long as it makes sense. This is Sandy. She said, hey fam, I just wanted to share. It's very important to interview several lenders. I have 3 pre-approval letters, one for $500K, one for $415, and another VA for $700,000. For the newbies in this group, do not skip steps. I will leverage these to get the best rate, but of course, the VA loan is my first choice. So I'm teaching Sandy how to make the lenders compete for her business. Okay. Then we have the Find It module, how to find great deals in your backyard. Literally, my first deal was literally in my backyard in Brooklyn. I was renting on Fulton Street, and the property that I ended up buying shares a backyard with the property that I was renting. There are deals around you. You just have to learn to see them. The 33 signs of gentrification to ensure that you buy right before the prices rise in your neighborhood, not right after that they do. How to use the internet and specific websites you need to know to finance and do due diligence on a deal. Remember, I'm not talking Trulia. I'm not talking Redfin. I'm not talking Zillow. I'm talking about key websites that you need to know to do due diligence on a deal and get those 23 numbers. How to evaluate a deal in another state if you're investing from a distance. Why the asking price that a seller wants doesn't matter, and the real metrics that make a deal worth it or not. And the people and tools that you need in place to get off-market deals coming to you daily. Finalize it. You're going to learn the 23 numbers that you need to truly evaluate whether to purchase a path on a real estate deal. That whole financial model that I showed you, you're going to get access to that, and I'm going to train you on how to use that. How to quickly evaluate a deal in 10 minutes or less so that you can get your offer in before anyone else. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer. The foremost overlooker numbers that can make or break a deal, how to never pay at or above asking price and get it reduced to whatever you desire without worrying about the seller walking away, and the 5 ways to exit any deal if the numbers aren't adding up or something doesn't feel right. In the Fix It module, I'll show you the 10 types of contractors you need to have and trust in it on speed dial once the deal is in motion. These are not people that you go get after you've closed on the property. You need them in advance of making your offer. I'm going to show you how to vet that team beyond using Yelp or Angie's List, the questions to ask and the things to look for. Walk, crawl, climb, everything you must do, ask, and look for during the inspection process. The inspection process is actually one of your greatest points of leverage in the negotiation process. One of my students got a price reduction of $35,000 using the strategies that I taught him in terms of leveraging the inspection. First things first, what are the very first things you need to do once you have the keys? Hint, it is not move in. And then fix it or nix it. What you should fix immediately or what can wait for later until cash starts flowing. And then finally, in the Fill It module, your landlord now, how to avoid those 3 a.m. phone calls and manage a building without always being there, how to find great tenants fast if you have vacant units that need to be filled, what you need, who you need, and where to post. You're going to freeze download of my sample lease agreement and long distance investing secrets, how to manage your investments without always being there, and the top 20 real estate markets to invest in. Okay. So for those of you who are single family buyers, earlier I told you to type in 6-5. Here's why. In this specific module that I created for you, single family homeowners, 6 ways to escape if you did, and 5 ways to use FHA twice, I literally lay out those 6 strategies and the 5 ways to use FHA twice in this module. So when you join, this is the first module that you will go to learn what your options are to reverse yourself out of that situation. Again, we may have to go backwards to go forwards. Only 2 of those 6 ways actually require you to sell. So if you are attached to your home, you're still not bound. There's still ways to move you into becoming a real estate investor. All right. Now, I want to share some success stories with you really quickly. This is the Roll family. They have a 4-plex in Los Angeles. They said, Julian's journey has always been an inspiration to my wife and I. We didn't think we were ready, but Julian helped us see that we were. Now we own a 4-plex in Los Angeles that is already appreciated and generates enough cash flow for my wife and I to both step into entrepreneurship full time while still being financially responsible parents of our 1-year-old daughter, Jubilee. This is the Campbell family, and they have a 4-plex and they have a duplex, excuse me. They have a duplex in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they started off buying wrong. Okay, they bought wrong initially until they learned the game from me, and I'm so happy to have taught them how to do that successfully. Then we have Dante. He's from New Orleans. He closed in 34 days. Okay, he joined August 15th, closed on September 19th. That's how quick it can happen, y'all. Then Jackie, she's in Philadelphia. She bought from a distressed seller a 3-family and a single-family home at under market price. So she stepped into equity. Spencer lives in Texas, closed on this duplex in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. Romaro and his family, the Powell family, they live in Oakland, California, a very expensive market, right? So they ended up investing in Detroit, Michigan, where they got this duplex, and he closed in 4 months. Jason lives in San Antonio, Texas. I helped him find a duplex here in New Orleans in 3 months. Robin is from New Orleans. I helped her find this beautiful duplex here in New Orleans. Single mom, right? So demystifying that that's not possible for single moms out there. Ronique, he closed on this 4-plex in Birmingham, Alabama in less than 30 days. So I got some students who are moving quick on it and some that are taking longer. That's perfectly fine, okay? He's also on his second property now. He bought it for $25,000. He's going to do a $45,000 renovation on it, and the property will be worth $175,000. So he's literally about to step into $100,000 in equity because of the process that I taught him here in this program. Demetrius, one of our youngest students, 26 years old, he actually closed on this 4-plex in Killeen, Texas. He used his VA loan to do that. So we're so happy for him to get in the game at the age of 26. At this age, he is going to be just dominating over time. So I'm so happy for him. Steven lives in New York, very expensive market. I helped him find this duplex here in New Orleans. Again, he got it for $35,000 under asking by leveraging the strategy I taught him in the inspection process. April bought this 4-plex in Virginia Beach, Virginia. She lives in one of the units. She Airbnbs the others. Even in the midst of COVID, she made $27,000 through Airbnb. And once that's fully up and running again, those numbers are going to be a lot higher. Okay. This is Jay. She closed on a single family home. Normally I don't have my students do single family homes. I have a couple who did. Why? Because she stepped into equity. She found a single family home with $8,000 equity in it right off the bat. Okay. Then Fernando, they bought this property in LA in March of 5th of 2020, in the midst of the beginning of COVID. And they're going to run the group home business model through it. And they said that the numbers are crazy as a group home. Terrence closed on this fourplex in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He also used his VA loan. Jetro went to University of Florida, so he bought in a neighborhood that he was familiar with in Gainesville, Florida. He bought this fourplex here. Sandra bought a duplex in Kansas City, Missouri, which she's going to do the BRRRR strategy on to renovate it, rent it out, refinance, and then get all of her money out of the deal. Then Nicole, she closed on this fourplex in Chicago, Illinois. Originally priced $362,000. She got it for $340,000. Literally saved $22,000. And then Devin closed in the midst of COVID. Look at this, May 12th. He closed. You see him masked up, right? He closed on this duplex in East Orange, New Jersey. For those of you who are like, oh, it can't be done in the Northeast. He closed on this duplex in East Orange, New Jersey. Malika did a single family foreclosure rehab in Baton Rouge, and she closed on June 15th. Alan closed on this triplex in Baltimore, Maryland, again in the Northeast. And this is what Alan said. I just want to thank you for the great service that you provide. I learned a great deal from your detailed instruction for the past 3 months during the pandemic, and I recently closed on a multifamily property in Baltimore, Maryland on 6/17/20. The property cash flows and is in an appreciating market with built-in equity as well. I would not have had the confidence to handle that deal like such a boss without the expert knowledge provided in your course. I felt like I had the answers to the test every step along the way. Thanks again, brother, for being the gateway to freedom and generational wealth. I will certainly pay it forward. Best regard. So that's Alan there. Darren and Aisha, they closed on this triplex in Providence, Rhode Island. Tell me when y'all want me to stop. Tyler and Olivia, they closed on a fourplex in New Orleans. It took them a year to go through the process, but they got it done. And I'm so happy to see a young couple doing it together. All right. Some people telling me to stop. Some people say, keep going. All right, I got a few more to just share with y'all. Alyssa, she said she closed on this duplex in Pensacola, Florida, I believe. Yeah, on September 4th. All right. Dante closed on this fourplex in Baltimore, Maryland. Elena and Aaron, they're in Los Angeles. They closed on a property in Detroit, Michigan. Agents Karen and Jamel, they closed on this property in Norfolk, Virginia, a fourplex. And they're real estate agents, y'all. Morgan closed on this fourplex in Columbia, South Carolina. I could keep going, y'all. Actually, one of my most recent ones, Tafara, she closed on this duplex in Baltimore, Maryland in 5 months, y'all. So look, this was last week she closed, October 6th, right? So these are real life examples, people who have gone through my program and process. The program works, y'all. The X factor to success is you, right? The system and the process works, and the X factor is you. So normally the multifamily master plan will cost $1,999 to get access to the program. But tonight I'm actually going to show you how to get access to it for free. Okay. I'm going to show you how you can get access to the program for free. I repeat, it is all free. Some of y'all are like, what are you talking about? All you have to do is join the Multifamily Movement Mastermind, which is committed to creating freedom and generational wealth through real estate. My mission is to help 300 people and families acquire a cash flow positive multifamily home within 6 months of being pre-qualified. Okay. So you're like, Julian, you just said it was free. What do you mean I need to join this mastermind? Let me explain, y'all. How many of you wanted to lose weight at the beginning of the year? Okay. How many want to lose weight at the beginning of the year? Now, there are all kinds of free YouTube videos, all kinds of free recipes, etc. But you still got a gut. Okay. I'm saying that jokingly, but I'm kind of real, right? So what I know after teaching online for the past 10 years is that information by itself does not get you to the finish line. It is the integration of the information that leads to the transformation. I am not just here for the transfer of information, okay? I'm here for your transformation. How many of you bought a book that you intended to read to change your life, or bought an online course that you wanted to do something with and you never opened it up? It's still on the bookshelf, not even one page turn, okay? So we all guilty of it. Why? Because there's no accountability. So I'll let you know, the way I structure this program is that you are not paying me for the information. You can go try to piece together all this information on YouTube, podcasts, blog posts, and books if you want, okay? The information is out there, but it's spread out. What you're paying me for is the structure and the accountability to make sure that you implement the information. You are paying me for the structure and the accountability, okay? I'm more like a personal trainer when it comes to real estate, because you know I'm going to show up for you whether you show up for yourself or not, to make sure that you actually get the results. How many of you believe that you would get better results if you stopped trying to rely on self-discipline and you actually had a personal trainer to get you fit? How many of you think you would get better results? Why? Because they are implementing, they are making sure you implement the plan, okay? So again, my expertise is in not only in multifamily real estate, but it's actually in the accountability and the structure. So here's the deal, y'all. When you pay for the accountability and the structure of the multifamily movement mastermind, I will happily give you access to everything that I know about multifamily real estate for free. When you pay for the accountability and the structure, I will give you access to everything for free. It's kind of like a gym membership. You pay the membership, I will give you access to all the equipment that is available here for you to use to get to your goals. So that is how this program is structured. And that's what I mean by this program is free. The information is free. What I'm here to do is make sure that you succeed by implementing the information. Does that make sense, y'all? Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So this program is a program in real life. I hope to hug you and slap hands with all of y'all someday. This is 100 of us here in New Orleans in the past MLK weekend. And this is part of the program. That's me right there. That's my daughter that I told you about right there. This was us marching through the streets in New Orleans together, 100 of us. So this is a movement in real life, all right? The Multifamily Master Plan, like I said, is more than a program. In fact, here's how it's structured. Only 20% of this program is actually on the computer. Yeah, only 20%. There are videos that I need to show you to renew your mind. It says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. How many of you had your minds renewed tonight? How many had your minds renewed tonight? Okay, so this is just the beginning. So there's still reprogramming that I need to teach you about multifamily real estate so that you can now be looking at real estate with the right lenses, right? With the 4 eyes of real estate. After that, 40% of this program is actually on the phone, talking to agents, lenders, contractors, owners, wholesalers, etc., building your real estate Rolodex. The other 40% of this program is actually in your car and in your shoes, actually pounding the pavement. Okay, real estate is a contact sport. You have to be in contact with people. You have to be in contact with properties. You will not find a deal just Netflixing and chilling at your computer watching me on videos. You will not find real estate deals that way, okay? So I need to retrain your mind, but once that is done, then you actually have to get out there and be in contact with people and be in contact with properties to find that first deal, all right? The way this program is structured is that every single week, you will have to get up out of your seat, okay? You have to get up out of your seat, away from your computer, and go execute on these challenges, okay? So that is the financial house cleaning challenge, the lender shopping challenge, the pre-approval challenge, the real estate agent challenge, the neighborhood knowledge challenge #1, the deal a day challenge #1. Then you'll do the real estate team building challenge, and then you'll do the neighborhood challenge and the deal a day challenge over and over and over habitually until you find the deal that you've been looking for. Okay, let me just give you a quick overview of the course and show you how detailed it is. Our #1 rule in this program is do not skip steps. Everything in here is extremely important, and there's no fat in the program whatsoever. In every single week, you will get 2 sets of modules. One, the mindset modules, okay? We renew the mind, and then you'll get movement. So mindset, movement, mindset, movement, mindset, movement. So we renew the mind, then we go take action based on what we learn. We renew the mind, then we go take action based on what we learn. So this is how detailed the program is. And again, our #1 rule in this program is do not skip steps. Everything is extremely important, okay? Now, how do I hold you accountable? Every single week, we have our weekly deal room calls. This is where I actually coach you, okay? So on those weekly deal room calls, one, you have to report to me what you did in the past week to move forward in the program, okay? You have to accomplish something. You have to report to everyone publicly, okay? Then from there, we have our hot seats where you can jump in the hot seat and get coached by me live. There's no one-on-one coaching outside of our weekly deal room calls. I want to be very clear about that. But on our weekly deal room calls, you can jump in the hot seat and I will coach you just like this on Zoom, okay? But everybody in the community is listening in on that coaching session, right? If Harriet Tubman was trying to free people one at a time, she would have only freed 19 people. She made 19 trips. If she was trying to free people one at a time, she would only have freed 19 people, okay? So this is the most effective way for me to get this message out and this information out to as many people as possible. And then finally, on the end of that call, you have to create your action plan for the upcoming week. So again, this is the accountability and structure that I'm talking about. I'm not just giving you a whole bunch of videos and saying, good luck, wishing you the best, hope you close one day. No, I'm giving you the accountability and the structure, okay? So from there, you're also going to get the Purchase or Pass Deal Analyzer. Again, this is the financial model that I use to evaluate every single real estate deal that I do. If you follow this blueprint, you will never make a mistake on a real estate deal. You will never make a mistake on a real estate deal if you use the Purchase or Pass and Deal Analyzer to evaluate any deal that you do, okay? And then you also get a ticket to our live event in New Orleans. It's our Generational Wealth Conference. Okay. On day one, it's on MLK weekend of 2021. And on day one, we do all of my wealth building principles beyond real estate. And day two is all real estate related. This is us in New Orleans. Again, on MLK weekend of last year, we went and looked at properties that I own, that I was renovating. We went inside. I showed people what I was doing, the strategic renovations, etc. This is all of us. We had buses going through the city looking at my entire portfolio. Okay. If that event does not happen in person this year, it will still happen online, and it's still going to be a powerful experience. Okay. So when you put all that together, the Multifamily Masterplan lifetime access, okay, the Multifamily Movement weekly deal room coaching calls, that's $2,399. The Purchase a Pass Deal Analyzer, which is priceless, and the live 2-day event in New Orleans, the Generational Wealth Con, that is $4,997, okay? But you will not be paying that tonight, okay? You will not be paying that tonight whatsoever, not even close, right? I need to ask you some questions, and I will share with you what the price is. What would it be worth $4,997 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever? Please let me know in chat. Would it be worth $4,997 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever? Yes or no? Okay. Would it be worth $4,997 if all it did was help you acquire one cash flow positive multifamily home within the next year? Yes? Okay. Would it be worth $4,997 if the only thing you learned was how to buy right so that you never ended up underwater on a real estate deal thanks to the Purchase a Pass Deal Analyzer? All right, cool. So let me see. All right, so with that, I want to give you your options to join. All right, your first option is going to feel free, but it's going to cost you the most, and that is you do absolutely nothing. That means that you continue to go on the path that you've been in terms of trying to build wealth and figure this out on your own, and wishing you the best on that, okay? When you do that, your rents are going to continue to rise, which makes it harder for you to save if your salaries don't rise proportionally, and the prices of real estate will continue to go up, making it harder for you to buy, okay? So that is the first option that you have. I hope that you don't choose that option because it's going to cost you the most at the end of the day, okay? Now, earlier, I gave you a hypothetical situation about giving up or going and getting the money. And earlier, y'all was just talking real game. Y'all was like, you know me, I'm about that life, Julian. I'll do what I got to do. You know me, by any means necessary. That's on me, right? I'll do anything for my last name. I'll do anything for my children. Y'all was using them Twitter fingers talking real hard when I gave you a hypothetical situation. So now I'm giving you a real life situation that's going to determine the financial trajectory of your life. And so I would like for you to consider joining the program for a one-time payment of $14.97. $14.97, okay? When you join the program, a one-time payment of $14.97, that you will save $597, okay? This is less than 1 to 2 months of rent. All I'm asking is for the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent or mortgage expense to put you in position to never have to pay rent or mortgage expense ever again. All I'm asking, okay, is for the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent or mortgage expense to put you in position to never have to pay rent or mortgage expense again. And the way to take advantage of that is you can simply go to multifamilymovement.com, multifamilymovement.com to join now, okay? Now, how many of you have heard of Fortune Builders? How many of you heard of Fortune Builders? Okay, how much does Fortune Builders charge, y'all? How much does Fortune Builders charge? Anybody know? $25,000 to $50,000 for the same information that I'm giving you. You see, Makita put it in there. Madeline put it in there. $25,000 to $50,000 for the same information I'm giving you. I went to their hotel meeting here in New Orleans. 70% of the audience was people of color. Fortune Builders is literally stealing your down payment. I don't need your down payment. I want you to apply your down payment to actually closing on the property that you desire, okay? So Fortune Builders is not run by people of our culture, and they're literally stealing folks' down payment and not getting them to the finish line. All I care is about getting those 300 people to the finish line. And so what I'm offering you is literally a fraction of what other people are charging for this same information. Why? Because all I care about is you getting free. My real estate portfolio is doing just fine. I don't need your down payment. I don't want your down payment. Could I charge a lot more for this? I could. I'm not interested in doing that. All I care about is you closing on your first multifamily home, because I know that that one single decision is going to create rent and mortgage freedom for you and lead to generational wealth for your family. Okay. Now, how many of you don't have 1497 and need a payment plan? Again, that's multifamilymovement.com. How many need a payment plan? All right. So first and foremost, it is a red flag, y'all. It is a red flag if you don't have 1497 to invest in yourself right now. It does not mean you're broke. Never say I am broke. Okay. I am is what God calls itself, and you, whatever you add after I am becomes your experience. What is broken is your financial system. Okay. Something is off. If you've been working for 10, 20 years and you don't have 1497 to invest in yourself, then that means that your financial system is broke. Doesn't mean you're broke. Okay. You are perfect, whole, and complete. Okay. But something in your financial system is broke. Okay. So we need to change that. So I'm going to share with you a way to still get involved for those of you who need a payment plan. This is Brandon. He said, thanks, bro. I was apprehensive at first to take your class due to the price point. I thought I could have learned from YouTube University. Laugh out loud. In retrospect, you dropped too many jewels for me to count. One example saved me $1,200 by making the lenders compete. It was money well spent. For any new people reading this, Julian is a truth, good people, and has a wealth of knowledge. Appreciate all that you do, good brother, and the profound impact that you make on so many. So Brandon saved his $1,200 to $1,497 immediately, okay? Then he went on to get his appraisal. His appraisal came in $14,000 above his offer price. So he's literally about to step into 10 times as much as he paid for the course. His net worth is about to increase by 10 times what he paid for the course. He's getting a 10x investment just off of his first purchase alone. Okay. And that doesn't even count all the cash flow, tax savings, appreciation that he's going to get from that property over the course of its life. All right. So for those of you who need a payment plan, you can join the program at multifamilymovement.com for $349 per month for just 6 months. Okay. This is not a subscription that goes on forever. One of those subscriptions you forget and be like, oh my goodness, I've been on this for 12 years. No, this is not one of those subscriptions. 6 months and it ends, and you have lifetime access to the program after that. Okay. Now, $349 times 6 months is $2,094. It is a little bit more expensive to join on the subscription program. Okay. When you join with the one pay, you save $597. I reward people. Okay. I reward people for fully committing, because then they're not second guessing. They don't have one foot out the door. They're fully in it. And the people who have committed fully have a greater chances of success. Okay. So if you can't fully commit, but you know that you need this and want to get to rent and mortgage freedom, I'm giving you the opportunity to join for $349 per month for just 6 months only. Okay. So I'm going to answer questions in just a second. I see questions piling up. Now, for those of you who need the $349 a month plan, real quick, the one pay, you get access to everything immediately. When you join on the one pay, you get access to everything immediately. When you're on the payment plan, you get access to the first 3 modules, and then after that, your modules will get dripped to you as your payments come in. Okay. When you join on the full pay, $1,497, you get access to everything immediately when you join. When you join on the monthly payment plan, you'll get access to the first few modules. And then after that, your modules will get dripped to you as your payments come in. Now, when you join for $349, I'm going to do something else for those of you on $349 plan. For those of you who join on the $349 plan, I'm going to give you 60 days to pay off the balance in full and still save the $597. I don't want the $597, y'all. I don't need it. I'd rather you have it in your pocket for your down payment, for your inspection, okay, for your appraisal. So if you join on the $349 a month plan, then what you'll do is if you pay the balance of $1,148 within 30 days, then you'll save the $597. Or you can pay $349 today, $349 in 30 days, okay? And if you pay the $799 before the second payment comes out, the third payment comes out, then you will still save the $597. Please type clear if that is clear. Please type clear if that is clear. So I'm giving you 60 days to pay off the balance. You will go to multifamilymovement.com. You will join on the $349 a month plan. And when you're ready to pay off the balance in full within 60 days, you will email support@thefreedomschool.com. And my support team will send you a link to pay off the balance before the 60-day mark, and you will still save $597. Okay? I recognize we're in the midst of COVID. I recognize money might be funny right now. You might be getting a lump sum, et cetera, coming up because tax returns are due later, et cetera. I understand. And I don't want the $597. I would rather you keep it, all right? So you have 60 days to pay off the balance, all right, to save the $597. So who should join this movement? I'm going to answer questions in just a second. The renter who has paid over $50,000 in rent, living on your own, you should join. You should join if you're a single family buyer who wants to become a real estate investor. You should join if you're willing to make the sacrifices today for success in the future. Please do not join this program if you're looking to get rich quick and need money yesterday. This is not for you. I'm sorry. I don't have a get rich quick scheme available for you. Okay? You should not join if you're unwilling to change what you're doing right now to save money and to search for real estate deals. And you should not join if you are unemployed and like being unemployed and are going to ride that thing out. I cannot get you financed if you are unemployed. If you're on disability and your disability is enough to afford real estate in your market, we can still work with you. But if you're unemployed and you're like, I'm gonna milk this thing and I'm not interested in getting employed, I cannot get you financed and you should not join this program. All right. Now, when you join, I have some bonuses for you. Okay. The first bonus you get is Tanya Rapley's credit etiquette course. I know some of you have some credit challenges. This program is a DIY program that will help you boost your credit score by 50 to 150 points to make sure that you are able to get financing for multifamily real estate. You're also going to get the Fuel It module, which is exactly how I scaled my portfolio from 0 to 10. Okay. I walk you through every single deal I did, how I did it, how I financed it, how I kept my DTI low, all of that in the Fuel It module. You're also going to get the REI tax secret, which is how to reduce your real estate your taxes due to real estate. Again, this is not a tax evasion. Tax evasion is legal. This is tax avoidance by leveraging the laws. I showed you earlier how that one single property is going to save me $278,000 in taxes due to acquiring one single property. Okay, so we want to make sure that we take advantage of this. I show you how to set that up properly. You're also going to get the Overnight Success Airbnb course. This will show you how I built a six-figure Airbnb business and how to get yours set up quickly so that you can increase the revenue from your rental unit. You're also going to get the Purchase the Pass Deal Analyzer online. This is a software that is only available to my students where we can analyze all our deals in one single place. What's powerful about it is that this is also a space where students share deals with one another, okay? So let's say you're in the Baltimore market and a student finds a deal that they can't do or don't want to do because they found another deal that they're working on. They can share it with you publicly and you can go swipe that deal and go look at it for yourself. So this taps into the power of the collective. And now this is a space where we find and track all of our off-market deals. So when you put this all together, the Multifamily Master Plan, the 50 weeks of deal room calls, the live event in New Orleans, the Fuel It module, the tax secrets, the overnight success, the credit etiquette course, the Purchase Pass online app, together, everything that I'm offering you is $7,586. Okay, everything a la carte, if you go to try to get this, $7,586. Okay, but again, you do not have to pay that tonight. There's only $14.97 one pay or $349 per month for just 6 months. Now, last two things before I take questions. I have a 2-year coach until you close guarantee. This means that I'm going to give you 100 sessions of weekly deal room calls to support you along the way. Okay. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to see you to the finish line. That's the only thing that matters to me. All right. So I asked myself, what is the worst situation that somebody can come to me in and I can still help them get to the closing room? That is bankruptcy. And bankruptcy typically lasts about 24 months before we can actually go get you financed. So this is why you get up to 2 years of support from me, okay, in order to get to the closing room. You still get access to the program as a lifetime, but you get 2 years of support, okay? Now, as a result of this high level of support that me and my customer support team provide, there are no refunds for this program. There are no refunds for this program. There are no refunds for this program. We know that the system works. The question is, do you work? You are the X factor. I can show you countless examples, people of all different walks of life, all different markets, who the program has worked for. What I don't know and what I can't control is how you show up, all right? Now, so with that, let me just walk through this straight up. You don't know where to start? Look, I've given you the Multifamily Master Plan, which is an A to Z, straightforward, linear program that you need to go through to download my real estate investor mindset. You feel alone on this journey, you get to come to our weekly deal room calls and be a part of our active Facebook group community, okay? So that I know a lot of you are the only person in your family, the only person in your circle who gets it, and it's time to connect with other people. you're not that good at math, you don't have to be, because the Purchaser Pass Deal Analyzer has all the math for millionaires baked into it for you, okay? You need help with money beyond real estate? That's what our Generational Wealth Con is for, where I share with you all of my wealth building strategies beyond multifamily real estate, okay? You've already bought a home, that's okay. That's what the Fuel It module is for. I'm gonna show you how to reverse yourself out of that situation and get on the path to becoming a real estate investor and build up your portfolio. Do you need to create an LLC? No, you do not, okay? But you do need to know how to set up your accounting so that you can leverage all the tax benefits of owning or controlling multifamily real estate. Prices are too high where you're at, then we use Airbnb as a business model where we can get 3 times what you might be able to get in rents. And then if your credit is lower than you'd like it to be, then that's what Tanya Rapley's credit etiquette course is for, to help you increase your credit score and get ready to get financed. And so again, all of that together with all those bonuses is not $7,586. It's literally $1,497 one pay, the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent, okay, or mortgage expense, or $349 per month for just 6 months. And last but not least, you all get a free buddy pass. You all get a free buddy pass. What does that mean? You get to bring in somebody to the program with you for free. This could be your best friend, spouse, or homie. This could be your blood, siblings, parents, or kids, or a business partner who you're going to invest with. Why would I do this? Because I know that when you join the program, you will have a greater chance of success when there's somebody who's on the ground with you, who's saying, let's do module 3 today, okay? Let's go look at these 5 properties that I found this weekend. And I definitely want couples to be on one accord on this wealth building journey, since money is one of the core reasons that people get separated. You two have to be aligned on this journey. And so I want you to bring them in with you. I want you to be sitting on the webinars together, getting coached together, going through deals together, okay? So this is Velveeta and Velvet. They are sisters in Los Angeles, twin sisters, and they're going through this process together. This is Victor and Michelle Dorner. They're actually going through this process together as a married couple. So I'm absolutely inspired by that, and I want to see more of that, okay? So again, you get a free buddy pass when you join, and all the details are in orientation. Now, you have until Friday at midnight to take advantage of this opportunity. You have until Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time to take advantage of this opportunity, okay? Enrollment period closes Friday, midnight Eastern Standard Time. But if you join tonight, I'm giving you, those who join tonight, a little fast action bonus, which is you get an extra ticket to the Wealth and Real Estate Weekend, to the Generational Wealth Con, okay? You get an extra ticket if you join tonight. You get a free extra ticket for your buddy if you join tonight. And if you're not going to come into the program with a buddy, it's an extra ticket that you can use to bring somebody else to the Generational Wealth Conference with you, okay? So that is a way of saying thank you for those of you who are taking action, who are ready to make this happen. That's worth $599 in order to get access to that ticket. So again, here's everything that you get again. It's $1,497 one pay, or $349 per month for 6 months. Literally, you are one deal away. I had no clue that this first property would lead to the portfolio that I have today. I had no clue, but this is how it happens, y'all. Look at this. It's called the domino effect. You get that first property, and it leads to the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth. We're not just here to get one property, y'all. We're here to build an entire portfolio. So for those of you who joined, you will start, okay? And you'll get onboarded. You'll get your deal analyzer. You'll start the online course. You'll go through orientation, okay? We'll have our weekly deal room call on Sunday. Okay, so finish orientation by Sunday, and you'll start your first challenge on Monday of next week. Again, that's multifamilymovement.com, okay? Your password, if you can't hear me because you were on the other page, your password, your temporary password is the word freedom, all lowercase. Your temporary password is the word freedom, all lowercase, all right? The price right now is $349 per month for 6 months, or $1,497 one pay. As of Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time, the price will jump to $3,997. $3,997. You all told me it was worth $4,997. So this is a little bit of a discount on that. But after Friday at midnight, the price will jump to $3,997. For those of you who are here, you will all get the list of down payment assistance program sent via email tomorrow. I want to thank you for staying here this late. We are 2 hours in on a Tuesday night. Some people got to go back to the corporate plantation tomorrow, even though they don't want to. And you're here trying to figure out an escape plan out. And I know that I can show you this pathway through the Above Ground Railroad. So I want to say thank you for your time being here. And that email is going to come out tomorrow. So keep your eyes out on your email for that. All right. So with that, I want to take questions, as many questions as I possibly can. I know we're 2 hours in. I saw all kinds of questions coming up in chat that I couldn't answer as I was teaching. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use the Q&A function in Zoom. Okay. Zoom has a Q&A function. You should see a button that says Q&A. Okay. I want you to ask your questions there. Please do not ask your questions in chat. Please do not ask your questions in chat. Please do not ask your questions in chat. Copy your question, put it in the Q&A function, okay? And I'm going to answer them in order there, okay? So I'm gonna start right now because I wanna get through as many as I can. I want you to make an informed decision about this program in the same way that I want you to make informed decisions about real estate. So go ahead, put your questions in the Q&A, and we're gonna get it in right now, all right? All right. First question from will there be a replay? Yes, I will send out a replay tomorrow. I know some of you want to invite your buddies to this program, or I talk fast, y'all, and some of you want to slow it down or just make sure you caught everything. So I'm going to send out a replay tomorrow so that you have that, all right, and can share with your buddy. What banks are giving you 2.5% or 2.2% mortgages? JM, we typically use local lenders. We typically aren't going to the big banks, okay? And I teach you that in the program, how to find lenders in your market. All my mortgages were originated with local lenders. So JM, we teach you how to get beyond the big banks and find local lenders, all right? Okay, again, that's multifamilymovement.com, multifamilymovement.com. Next question. Joshua, I'm a 28-year-old black male and I have a 3.5% interest rate with 10K saved, but I noticed the white loan officer questioned me about why do I want to invest and be a landlord and suggested that I start with a townhouse. Joshua, no, 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 okay? I showed him a duplex at 275 and a triplex at 275, but only wants to approve duplex, but not triplex unless I have $23,000 in reserve. So I said I could not receive gifted money, even though he said I could receive gifted money when I was thinking about buying a single family. Joshua, brother, you got to go find a new lender. Okay. We do not just go to one lender and just take their word, take what they say as truth universally. Joshua, you got to go find another lender in the program. I have a list of lenders that you can consider for various markets, okay? Or we have a broker that we use that knows lenders in various markets. Joshua, release that lender and just move forward, brother. Joshua, please in chat, let me know that you heard that, okay? Cheyenne, how much is the workbook? Cheyenne, this workbook is not for sale. All my students get it, okay? It comes free with the program. It comes free with the program. And there are no hidden costs with this program, but the only additional cost with this program, and I want to be very clear about this workbook comes free. It is a downloadable, fillable PDF in the program. If you want a physical copy because you like to write and things, all you have to do is pay $10 for this workbook, okay? That's $10 to print and ship. That is the only additional fee that you might experience in this program. There are no hidden costs whatsoever, okay? The workbook is downloadable for free once you join, okay? But if you want the physical copy printed and mailed, then you can order that. But that's just $10. We're just covering the printing and the shipping. We're not profiting off of that, okay? Anonymous, I would like to get on a brief call with you if possible to ask 2 questions. Thinking about signing up, will you cover the 5 ways of getting multifamily and using FHA twice in this webinar? No, I will not. And Anonymous, I don't do one-on-one calls, all right? So you should ask your question here if you have I guess the 2 questions are, will you cover the 5 ways of getting multifamily? Yes, that is covered in the program, okay? That is covered in the program. I showed you that module earlier. And then using FHA twice, yes, that is also on a module in the program. It is not, I did not get to it in this webinar. Tarika, will you send the information going out tomorrow to this email address? Tarika, the information, the list of down payment assistance and the replay will go to whatever email you registered for this webinar with. Horace, I'm ready to just pay this program. What would be my first step? Horace, you want to go to multifamilymovement.com, multifamilymovement.com. Anonymous, why not commercial real estate? Anonymous, commercial real estate is harder to get financed, okay? And the amortization is typically 20 years, right? And it's typically 20 to 25% down payment. So to get in the game, to get our feet wet, we're gonna start with duplex, triplex, or fourplex, okay? If you're more advanced and you're ready to go commercial, then I wish you the best. But right now we're focused on getting finance for a duplex, triplex, or fourplex. What if your credit isn't good enough? Isabel, you get access to Tanya Rapley's credit etiquette course. That will help you boost your credit score by 50 to 150 points. And if you go through that and that's still not enough, then I encourage you to go pay for credit repair to get a lot of the derogatories off your credit so we can get your credit score up in position to get financed. April, I can't even buy a single family home because of enormous student loan debt. That thing has been nothing but a thorn in my side. Can you still help me? April, I have some good news for you. When you're buying a multifamily home, you know that you get approved for more. Here's why. When you buy a multifamily home, listen to this, everybody. When you buy a multifamily home, let's say the rents on that property right now are $4,000. The bank will take 75% of those rents, right, which is $3,000, multiply it by 12, which is $36,000, and add it to your income. So let's say Isabel is only making $40,000 a year at her job, and she tries to get a single family home. They will qualify her based on $40,000 in income. But if she's getting a multifamily home, they will take 75% of the rents, which is $36,000 in this case, and they will add that to her $40,000. And so now Isabel is getting qualified, not based on $40,000, but $76,000 in income. Because the moment she acquires those keys, that income stream is now hers. Does that make sense, y'all? So Isabel is having difficulty with her debt to income ratio because of her high student debt. But now if she has additional income because she's buying multifamily, now she might be in range with her her back end debt to income ratio. Isabel, did you hear that? Isabel in chat, please let me know if you caught that. She asked that question at 8:44. Isabel, you still here? There. Okay, she got it. Good. April, I can't buy a single family. Oh, that was not Isabel. That was April. Excuse me. April, did you catch that? April, did you catch that? That was April's question. All right, Omar. I'm having employment issues. I'm currently trying to rectify. How many months of income do I need before I can qualify for lender? So, Omar, lenders vary, but it's typically going to be anywhere from 3 to 6 months of consistent income for a lender to qualify you. Okay. So if you get a job at Amazon, right? Not one of the basic hourly jobs, but like a real job at Amazon, they might say, oh, 3 months, right? But if it's at some no-name local company, they may require 6 months or more. Okay. Mo, I've been unemployed for 2 years, but just got a job and have a down payment ready with 780 credit score. Can I still get an FHA loan? Mo, I'm going to encourage you to go through NACA. Okay. And then congrats on getting a job, but you're likely going to need at least 3 to 6 months of employment for them to qualify you. But we're happy that you're reemployed again, brother. Okay. Yes, I cannot get you employed if cannot get you financed if you're unemployed. You're going to need at least 3 to 6 months of consistent employment in order to get financed. That does not mean you can't start this program and start learning while you are unemployed. Okay, that does not mean you can still join if you have the cash to pay. You can still join and start learning while you are unemployed, so that once you get employed and have enough months of consistent income, then you can just start making offers. What's the password again? The password for everybody who's joined is the word freedom, all lowercase. The temporary password is the word freedom, all lowercase. Okay. Do you use private money or hard money lending? Carlinia, no, I do not. Okay. We're trying to get this financed through NACA, FHA, VA, or Home Plus. Okay. Those or conventional if you have enough cash and credit in order to get conventional. Okay. Using private money for like BRRRR strategies and things of that nature, that's more advanced strategies. Okay. For this first property, we're not seeking to do that. Okay. Oops. I haven't been putting multifamilymovement.com. All right. Cool. How do I maximize NACA loan from multiple purchases? Randall, you can only use NACA for one purchase, brother. You can only use NACA for one purchase. Can I still do this working my full-time job. Yes, Doris, this is this is not a full-time. It is my full-time job. It's what I do full-time now, right? But I was working. Okay, I was running a business while doing this. This was just a side hustle for me, and it kept on expanding. Okay, this was just a side hustle and kept on expanding. So, yes, you can do this. This program, you're probably gonna need about 30 minutes a day or 4 hours per week. Okay, 30 minutes a day or 4 hours per week. Okay. What about the three payment plan? Olorunfemi, the three payment plan, you will start on the 349 a month plan. And then when you're ready to pay off the balance, you will email support@thefreedomschool.com. Okay. Keston, can I log off now and still get the email tomorrow? Yes, you can. Dear Ray, how do you manage a property in another state? I'm in New Jersey and expensive. So Dear Ray, you just need a great property manager, okay? The way to invest from a distance is to find a great agent and or property manager. Sometimes your agent will also do property management. So that's how we do it, Dear Ray. Can y'all click on the link and make sure that it's working? Multifamilymovement.com. I just posted it. Can you click on that link and make sure it's working? All right, thank you, Isabel. Cool. So yes, let me break this down to y'all. My property in Oakland, I've never been inside of it, y'all. My property in Oakland, I've never been inside of it. I had a great agent who was also my property manager who vetted the deal for me. I ran the numbers and I knew that the numbers worked. And I've never been inside my property in Oakland, y'all. So this is the power of what I'm teaching you. Okay, you actually don't have to touch the property. In fact, you let me say it this way: your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. Okay, you own Amazon stock, you've never been to Seattle. You own Apple stock, you've never been to Cupertino. You own Nike stock, you've never been to Beaverton. Your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. All right, William, the New York market is so unique. Will your plan work there? William, the New York market is tougher. San Francisco is tougher. Okay, Boston is likely going to be tougher. But again, it's a game of, in those markets, it's going to be research and relationships. So what do I mean by that, William? That means that you let your inner circle, your peer group know that you're looking for multifamily real estate deals. And then somebody's grandma happens to pass away and grandma owned the home and the siblings, the 5 siblings don't want the home and they want to just take the cash. And because your friend is daughter to one of the siblings, they say, hey, I know William, and William is looking to buy a multifamily home, and you get first access to the deal off market before it ever hits the market. So William, it's going to be that kind of relationship, okay, that is actually going to help you get a deal in an expensive market like New York City, okay? But again, if that doesn't work, then your money does not have to work in the same city as you do, okay? So we can still, like Steven, I showed you Steven earlier, he lives in New York, right? But he bought in New Orleans. Romaro lives in the Bay Area. The Powell family, they live in the Bay Area, but they bought in Detroit, okay? So we can go find a smaller secondary market outside of New York for you to invest in if it's challenging to find property exactly in New York. I want to invite my nephew as my buddy. Does he need to be here on the webinar? No, Kevin. When after you join, you'll email support@thefreedomschool.com. You'll let them know your nephew's name, relationship to you, and email address, and you'll be done from there. What happens if your credit score isn't good? Again, you all get Tanya Rapley's credit etiquette course, okay? That'll help you boost your credit score by 50 to 150 points. If you need to pay for credit repair, then you will have to do that. Robert said, tap the link, but nothing happened. Robert, try just www or try multifamilymovement.com and leave off the www, okay? What if I own a single family home and 1 rental already? Lawrence, good stuff. Congrats, happy to see that. Lawrence, in that module that I showed you, the 6-5 module, I'm going to show you how we can hopefully leverage some of the equity in your single family homes to go buy multifamily real estate in a smaller secondary market that provides you cash flow that you can bring back to where you live. Okay. What if I won't be financially able until after the holidays? Robert, I hope you're not saying that because you plan on buying holiday gifts. This is the greatest gift that you could give to your last name. All right. So the enrollment ends Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. So you got 3 days to figure it out, brother. Kelly, I'm not employed at the time. This will be changing soon. There you go. Declare it. Will this deal be available at a later date? Kelly, if you have the cash saved somewhere, or I would actually join, right? I would actually join so that you lock in this price. Enrollment ends, and I don't know when it's actually going to open back up. So I would encourage you to take advantage of this. After that, the price is $3,997. So lock in the price if you can, even if you can't start right now or execute right now. Come lock in the price and be part of the community. Do you need a real estate license to own more than one property? What's the answer, y'all? What's the answer, y'all? Do you need a real estate license to own more than one property? No, 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 no. Crystal, I have no license whatsoever. I don't need a real estate license to be a real estate investor. Okay? These are false steps and things that people do to distract themselves. You don't need that. You need to learn the game and you need to learn the numbers. Okay? Nicole, is that Nicole Benjamin that I know? That's the Nicole Benjamin that I know. Do you buy your property with LLC, or how does the financing look like? Nicole, I typically tell people they don't need an LLC until they have at least 10 apartments. Okay. You getting financed as an LLC is a lot harder. If you are able to get financed as an LLC, it will require a personal guarantee. So you cannot get financed through FHA, NAC, or VA with an LLC. So since we're focused on getting this first property, we will use our personal social security number, not an LLC. Okay. Crystal, we want to purchase property, but first we need a job for 1 year. Crystal, I would interview other lenders to see if they also have a 1 year requirement. And you may have talked to one lender, right? But there may be lenders that have 6 month requirement. There may be lenders that have three. It all depends, and it also depends on what type of company you get hired at. Okay. Um, Daryl, please copy your question and post it in the Q&A, brother. I'm happy to answer it, but please follow the instructions. Sean, Sarah, I see you, Daryl. There's over 150 questions, brother. So please don't take it personal. I'm going through them in order. Saran, we live in South Florida and would like a multifamily unit in Louisiana. Can we utilize Section 8? Saran, you can use Section 8 wherever. Yes, Section 8 is a national program in New Orleans. It's called HANO. Okay, it's called HANO, the Housing Authority of New Orleans, and you can use Section 8 wherever. All right. I still see questions coming up in chat. Please copy them over and put them in Q&A. We have over 160 questions now, y'all. So I'm pushing through. I'm going to get through as many as I can before 9:30. So let me just keep on going, all right? What is the difference between a conventional loan and an FHA? So, Teresa, great question. Conventional loan is usually going to be about 5% down, at least 5 to 10% down. And as a result of putting more money down, you will have no private mortgage insurance. When you have FHA loan, you'll have private mortgage insurance, which is additional money that you have to pay to protect the banks. And I don't know why the banks need protection when they're the ones that got bailed out. But there's PMI that literally stays on the loan for the life of the loan until you refinance. Okay. So again, for those of you who are ready, go to multifamilymovement.com, multifamilymovement.com. Next question, Kia, is there a way around not having to live in the property for the FHA loan? Kia, there is no way that I know of except to not live there, okay? But I would not rent it out, okay? Because if FHA, for whatever reason, showed up to your door and found out that you did not live there, that could put the whole deal in jeopardy, okay? So there's no way around it except to leave it vacant. Now, the way we think about that in this program is if that is the strategy you're going to employ, if you take an L for 1 year and you can afford to take that L, but the property cash flows in a great way for the next 29 years, then sometimes that is worth it. Okay, sometimes that is worth it. But beyond that, we do not have a strategy that helps you avoid fulfilling the 1 year living requirement. There's actually documents that you sign at closing that says that you will move in within 60 days. So we don't encourage you to avoid that. Daryl, how many eviction notices do you have pending? There you go, Daryl. I see you. Daryl, I have 0 eviction notices pending. Here's why, y'all. One, I know how to screen my tenants well. Okay, I screen my tenants. Screening your tenants is really, really important. And Daryl, 1/3 of my portfolio is Section 8, brother. Okay. So that means that I get paid online and on time, no matter what's going on in the economic environment. Okay. 1/3 of my portfolio is Section 8. Now, listen to this, y'all. What percentage of all my mortgages, all 10 of those mortgages, what percentage of them do you think get paid by my Section 8 tenants alone? What percentage of all my mortgages do you think get paid by the Section 8 tenants alone? Just give me a guess in chat. Steve and Deshaun, y'all great. 85% of my mortgages, of all 10 of my mortgages, get paid by my Section 8 tenants, which is money that is guaranteed and is paid on time and online. So I have no evictions pending at this moment whatsoever. My tenants are absolutely amazing. I am changing the narrative around tenant and landlord relationship. I'm an ethical investor. I put people over profits, and I take care of my tenants and they take care of me. We have a great relationship. Okay. Daryl, did that answer your question, brother? I know you were eager to get an answer. You still here? Did that answer your question? Cool. Dyla. What if I just bought a single family home about a year ago with the first time home buyer program? Dyla, what our best bet would be to go through that module, 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation, and 5 ways to use FHA twice. The fact that it's been a year does put you in position if you are able to fulfill on one of the FHA exemptions. And we would have to look at your property value now to see if there's equity that we can use to invest elsewhere. So we would walk through that in the weekly deal room call. We would look at your property and see what would the best strategy would be for you. Allison, I'm an entrepreneurial startup mode, not generating a lot of revenue yet. Do I need to wait to participate until consistent revenue, or is there a way to get started now? Allison, you may be overestimating what enough is in order to get finance. So the best thing we should do, Allison, is actually go to the bank and get pre-approved. Even if you're in startup mode and you're making, let's say 3,000, 4,000, I don't know how much you're making. Let's go see what the bank might approve you for. We don't know. So I would encourage you to go do that and try to get pre-approved. Okay, they'll pull your credit one time. Okay, that's not going to harm you, and we'll get back a number, and we'll see where the holes are in your application. You'll start building the relationship with the lender, and we'll go from there. But you can come learn the game now, Allison. And Allison, I just want to let you know that not having a rent and mortgage expense once I acquired the property, that freed me up to actually be a better entrepreneur. Because then I didn't have to take clients that just for the sake of money, because it allowed me to walk my purpose and with more in alignment, because I didn't just have to take money just to pay rent or pay my mortgage, right? So that was really important for me. And for me, when I think about freedom, freedom is not just kicking my feet up on a beach somewhere. I don't like or enjoy doing that. Freedom is the ability to walk my purpose every single day. And it sounds like you started walking in your purpose as an entrepreneur now. And so that's what the ultimate goal is for me, in helping you get one of these assets. Kathy, how do we effectively navigate on the ground since we are in a pandemic? Kathy, the world is opening back up. I haven't had any issues with Corona. There was a period right at the gates where New Orleans was like shut down, where you couldn't go view properties and things of that nature, and things slowed down a little bit. But over the past 2 months, I haven't had any issues going into properties or things of that nature. Everybody just has to mask up. Sion, I have a lot diet. Can I still be approved? Oh, I have a lot of debt. Can I still be approved? Sion, it all depends on your debt to income ratio. I have no clue what your income is. I have no clue what your debt is. The bank will look at your front end and debt to income ratio and your back end debt to income ratio. Banks have their own measurements for that. And so all we can do is go get pre-approved. So I encourage everybody who's here to go try to get pre-approved by Friday, just to go see what the bank will lend them, just to go see what the bank will lend you. Go get pre-approved by Friday and just to see. All right. For those of you who use PayPal, if you go to the multifamilymovement.com, you'll see these links, these burgundy links under the green button. Those are links for PayPal. So if you have some money like in a PayPal account and that'd be easier for you, or for whatever reason your debit card isn't working on the page, you can click on those links and then it'll go to PayPal. PayPal, you can pay with debit or credit card, y'all. So you'll click on the PayPal link, you'll click this gray button that says pay with debit or credit card, and you can use PayPal to join as well. Okay, so I just wanted to share that. Okay. Yancy, please copy your question over the Q&A. Um, no, will getting pre-approved affect my credit? No, you can have five pulls within a month, within a 30-day period without it negatively affecting your credit. You can have five pulls within a 30-day period. It is the bureaus know that it is okay for you to shop for lenders. Okay, so you can have five pulls in a 30-day period without it negatively affecting your credit. I purchased land in Lafayette, Louisiana, where I'm from, but I've not purchased a home yet. I still qualify for FHA? That's a great question, James. I don't know if they would, if you purchase that land cash and it is not, it will not show up on your credit, and therefore you will be ready to use FHA. If you finance that land, I'm not sure how they will perceive that. That's a great question. I need to write that one down. If you finance land, will they perceive that as a mortgage and as your first home? I don't think they will perceive it as you buying a home, James. They might just perceive it as like treat it like credit card debt. But James, the best thing to do is go to a lender and actually see. Okay. Deshannon again. Good evening. I have about $250,000 in equity in my current home. That's amazing. $250,000 right there. Quarter millionaire right here. I've never took any money out. Would you recommend that I pull money out to purchase my first multifamily home? DeShannon, the answer is yes, yes, and yes. That money is doing you no good just sitting in the walls of your home, right? So we can go get some of that money out through a HELOC or a refinancing to get some of the money out. And let's say we get 200 out. That's a war chest to go make some real major investments. Literally in New Orleans right now, you could probably get at least 6 to 8 apartments with $200,000. All right. So DeShannon, happy for you. Would love to teach you how to do that. Brene, what type of loan to use for home improvement? Brene, the best loan right now is a home equity line of credit. If you have equity in the home, that's going to be the best loan for you to do improvements. What is the appropriate credit score and income for NY tri-state area? A mirrors question. So right now, FHA is 660. Okay, 660. It used to be 580 before COVID. It's 660 now. Okay, so that's appropriate credit. And then income for tri-state, I think the bare minimum for tri-state is probably going to be at least 50 to 60. Bare minimum. Okay, the more the merrier, but bare minimum is going to be 50 to 60. I got in with 35 or 36 in 2013, but I think it's going to be 50 to 60 now. Violet, can we use private lenders? Violet, I would only use private lenders if you know what you're doing. The only time we use private lenders is because of the high interest rates is if we're going to BRRRR a property, meaning that we buy a property that we're going to rehab, okay, then rent out and then refinance. We're going to rehab it, force up the value, right? Appreciate the property, refinance against that new value, okay, and then still have a cash flowing asset after that. That's the only time we'd be using private lenders. We would use them for that 3 to 6 month construction or rehab period. Okay. Again, join at multifamilymovement.com, multifamilymovement.com. I'm going to take 3 more questions as we're approaching 9:30 my time. Next question is, my first mortgage is through a conventional loan, not FHA. Will that help me? No, Melanie, it's still going to show up as you have a finance property. So it won't help you, but there are 5 ways to use FHA. And so if you fit one of those exemptions, we could use FHA for your next property. Anonymous, do you have real estate mentor who taught you how to do this? No, Anonymous, I learned through the School of Hard Knocks, and I took some major L's along the way, and I had no intention of teaching this until people kept asking me and my portfolio kept expanding, and I went to that Fortune Builders meeting and realized that they were robbing my people. So no, there's no particular mentor. I realized that real estate is not like it's like you can't learn cooking through a cookbook, right? You got to actually do it. And this is why I've structured this program to be so hands-on. And I know that if I knew what I knew now back when 6 years ago, my portfolio would be double the size. Okay, so I'm just trying to share with you what I know about the game and make sure that you don't make mistakes along the way. Tanzania, out of work for as of 9/14 on the job injury. Can I register again when I get back to work? Do you offer the same deals? Tanzania, right now, enrollment ends Friday at midnight. So while one, we wish you health and a speedy recovery. If you can come get in the game and learn now while you are at home recovering, that would be great. But right now, enrollment ends Friday at midnight Eastern. Saran, other option for payment more than 349. Other option for payment more than 349. Saran, I don't fully understand the question. So please re-ask again. Sorry about that. Shanika, do you use property managers for any of your properties? Yes, I use property managers for my property in Oakland and for my property in Brooklyn because I'm not there. I'm in New Orleans, y'all. Okay. Last question from Ro Penny. Really want to bring in someone with me into the conference, but I also need to do the payment plan. I want to do the payoff in 60 days. Can I still have the buddy pass for the conference as well if I make my first payment before Friday? Ro Penny, that was a fax action bonus for tonight. If you join by Friday, there will be a discounted ticket for your buddy to come, but it won't be a free ticket. Okay. All right. So with that, I want to say thank you. Y'all, there are over 200 questions right now. There's no way for me to get through them all. Robert, I see you. Makita, I see you. Kevin, I see you. Brandy, Chris, Daryl, Tanya, Cassie, Richard, Jeanne, Anonymous, Kelvin, Violet, DRA, C Jam, Daryl, Sharita. I see all your questions. I'm looking at the scroller and I wasn't even able to get through half of them. I hope that I answered some of your questions because I hope many of them were duplicates. Carolinia, I see you, Kia, Raul, Shelly, Emma. I see all your questions, y'all. If I was to stay here, we would literally be here for a couple more hours. So I won't be able to get through these tonight. I apologize for that. I hope I've given you, you'll never have enough perfect information, but I hope I've given you enough confidence to make a decision about joining this program and becoming a real estate investor. I appreciate you all so much. Again, the website is multifamilymovement.com. If you're not joining tonight, click on it so that it's open up in your browser so that when you are ready to join before Friday, you have the URL. Again, like I said, many of you are literally 3 months away from achieving rent and mortgage freedom and you didn't even know it, okay? So just imagine being on a plantation in Maryland. Imagine being on a plantation in Maryland for 40 years and on your deathbed, somebody says, guess what I just found out? The Mason-Dixon line is right there on the horizon by that tree. All this time, you didn't know it was right there. If you would have known, you would have ran for it, okay? Because it was closer than you think. The same thing for you right now is that rent and mortgage freedom is closer than you even could have imagined. Some of you here tonight will achieve rent and mortgage freedom before the end of the year. Some of you here tonight will achieve rent and mortgage freedom before the end of the year. And if I can help you do that as your conductor on the above ground railroad who is taking successful trips back and forth and help many people cross the line, I would love to help you do that. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for being here tonight. I wish you the best on your journey, whatever you decide, and I will talk to you soon. Again, that's multifamilymovement.com, multifamilymovement.com. Your list of down payment assistance program will be coming tomorrow, especially for those of you who are here right now. You're definitely going to get that email, and I'll send out the replay as well. All right. Love y'all. Wish y'all the best, and I will talk to you soon. Peace. Hope to see you Sunday.